And now, our feature presentation.
And now, being recorded in front of a live studio audience of people who leave Fudge in a hot car, it's the most random show on the internet. It's TBK Live.
Let's start a riot, dance in the fire. Let's take it higher, shine a little brighter. So what you waiting for, waiting for, waiting for? So what you waiting for, waiting for, waiting for? Everybody come on, everybody come on, everybody sing na 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 na.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most random show on the internet. Welcome to a brand new episode of TBK Live, and it has been a crazy week here in studio. Our soundboard goes down because of a cord going out. It sucked. We was in the middle of recording an entire episode of Cinecrap, which you could still hear, because I think it went up yesterday, because we're putting this up on Sunday. I don't even know anymore. I've lost track of days. Hi, Sharon.
Hi. Your intros always sound so much more formal than mine. I'm just always like, hi,
Welcome
this is Sharon.
Welcome to the Winos.
Your cat's just like scratched me.
I'm sorry. Do you have cat scratch fever now?
Maybe. It's a real thing, you know. It's
It's
not common, though. It's really weird.
No, I know it's not common. I mean, if What's-His-Face can write a song about it, because I can't think of his name, but he's crazy. But if that guy can write a song about a disease,
And make
I
it sound
know
fancy?
Yeah. No, I know it's not real. It's not as bad as it could be. Like, you're not going to hear a rock anthem about syphilis. Well, technically.
I mean, you might, but
Have you heard The Darkness is Growing on Me?
no, I don't guess so.
I think it's about herpes. It's a great song, but the music video is really weird.
Okay.
You know the band I'm talking about, though.
No,
I believe in a thing called love.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
That band.
Oh, my gosh.
It's too early in the morning, isn't it?
I hadn't thought about that song for a very long time. We used to listen to that in theater. Like, it wasn't... Well, there was like... Because I had a really great teacher, but he kind of let us run just a little bit amok.
Amok.
Yes, amok.
Did you just say amok?
I did. That's really just the best way I can think to describe it. But there was some guys in my class that really enjoyed that song, and they played it continuously. And that's now what I associate that song with, is theater. So, like, I'm not a big fan of the song, but it brings up good memories.
The song is fantastic.
So, I don't know that I would go. I don't know that I would say that.
How can you hate The Darkness as I believe in a thing called
But
love?
like I said, I have very positive emotions for that song.
So it changes everything.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it's
you
okay.
know, I don't hate it because
But
of that.
you don't love it.
No, I don't. Like, not by itself, but like I didn't like it when I didn't like it then.
You are
But,
now you're now describing my feelings towards potatoes, because I went from completely loving potatoes, like that is the ultimate side food to me, to now completely wanting to just fucking kill every potato I see. I'm still on the diet.
Yeah, that's bad thing about, you know, when you're on the diet and you're like, I can eat this food for every meal and do awesome, and then you
And then
develop
you're
like
like,
an
after-
oral aversion to it. You're just like, no.
Well, we bought okay, so here's the fun part. So yesterday our grocery store chain has a sale going on this week, and it's potatoes, and it's not just a small bag of potatoes, it's red potatoes, which are a little bit more expensive than russets anyway, and you kind of get tired of russets. I did learn that gold
I like the gold potatoes.
has like a buttery taste
Yeah,
already in it.
They're my favorite ones to cook with because you don't really have to peel them.
No, I don't peel potatoes
Yeah,
anyway.
they're just really good to cook with. They're my favorite to use.
This is the weirdest episode of Live. There's a reason we're going into this completely blind this week, because we had our show planned on Wednesday and it was topical, and then guess what happened? The soundboard went, "Fuck you, Richard," and then I had to go do a different thing. So we're winging it. But yeah, no, the buttery taste, like it's like it's like it had sex with a parquet stick. Like that's exactly what. So I got super excited trying those for the first time, like really for the first time, like making them and eating them.
Yeah, they're good.
So red potatoes were on sale this week, which I now realize that every potato has a different kind of taste, but I didn't know this.
Yes.
Because I was just like, it's potatoes. We now have 20 pounds of red potatoes.
That's excessive.
I don't know what the hell. To let you know what we did, though, we actually bought a bag for Ashley's mom, too.
And then, does she not want them?
No, she does.
Okay.
No, she took them. No. But it was just like because she only eats red potato. We talked about her picky eating on a show before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of it, but that's
the only
different.
kind of potato she will eat is red potatoes, and she thinks they're red out too. When she goes out, she thinks it's the red ones.
Does she like check to make sure where her French fries are sourced from?
No. Because I know 90% of the potato she eats is not red. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that
like-
nowhere makes red potatoes.
If you order a baked potato from a place, that's not what you're getting.
No, you're getting you're getting a russet.
Yeah,
You're getting a plain old brown potato.
because that's what's cheapest.
So one of the dessert options is sweet potatoes. So I'm learning how to make
I like sweet potatoes.
yeah, sweet potato fries and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the change up, but you can use maple syrup with them. So now I have pure maple syrup. I feel somewhat Canadian now. The only thing missing is I'm going to probably make pancakes at some point because
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my cheat area and sit down with that, some maple syrup and quarter gas. And I feel like my weekend will be complete. It'll be a good day.
Nice.
How's life been, Sharon?
It's been fine.
Sharon invited me to something last week. I feel like we have to talk about that trip
Yeah, so
because I almost fucked up your car.
yeah. So my life has been consumed by band. I've talked about that before.
What kind of band, Sharon? Are you a rocker? I could
I'm
see
not.
I could see you being in a. Let's see here. If you were part of a cover band, Eurythmics. Go ahead.
My son is doing marching band. He's preparing for concert band though, because we're getting ready to switch over in seasons.
Which means not as less travel for you.
Right. This is actually the first Saturday that I've had off in a very long time, and I had to work this Saturday. Just got off work.
Just to let everyone know, we're recording the show on Saturday.
Yes.
It's going up on Sunday.
I'm still clad in my scrubs, which has a chapstick stain on because I dried chapstick with them. It's really
what
sad.
kind of chapstick?
It was the pink lemonade.
Damn it, Sharon.
I know, I'm really sad. It's a really sad thing.
You had one job. Damn it, Sharon.
I know. This is the first time I've done this in a really long time. Wash and dry chapstick. I normally pat my pockets down like really well.
Like a police officer?
Yeah.
Like you frisk your pants before...
yes, yes, I do. Every single pair before
There's your
they
mental
go in.
image, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually yelled at Jesse one time because he went to wash one of my jackets, and I'm like, "You don't ever wash any of my stuff without checking the pockets first." And I like took it out of his hands, and there was like three things of chapstick, and yeah.
So when chapstick gets washed in the washing machine, does it like screw everything else
The
up too?
washing is okay. It just comes out, and you can't use it anymore because it's like really wet inside. But you can't dry it because then it melts and it leaves oily splotches all over everything.
Ew.
I actually managed to salvage my work shirts. Like I had to like scrub them with a toothbrush and laundry detergent, and then I
You
had
went old
put
school.
yeah, and then I put baking soda on them,
Nice.
and I managed to get the oily splotches out of them. But then I didn't notice them on my scrub bottoms, and I'm still wearing them with the splashes.
But scrub pants are comfy. But continue
Yeah.
on band
anyway,
competition.
band. So this is my first Saturday off in about probably about 10 weeks.
I was gonna say like 2 months.
Yeah,
month and
it's
a half,
been-
2.5 months.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So this is his off week.
Which apparently was also the high school football team off week.
Yeah.
I just learned that
Yeah.
last night. I went,
So it's a break here. So anyway, previously we travel every single Saturday. On the Friday nights before, we typically don't get home till about midnight, 11:30 midnight, and then we get up on Saturdays and we travel.
at like 5:30 in the morning.
Our earliest call time has been 3:45. Last Saturday was actually our latest call time. Zeke didn't have to be there till 8 a.m. and he was super pumped about that. Some people had to be there earlier. They had to be there at 7, but because Zeke just has a flute, he carries it with him, so he doesn't have to load the bus.
Have we talked about how much of a badass your son is on this show for playing a flute?
I don't think so.
This has
Yeah.
to happen because
He
I
super
know.
loves his flute.
I was gonna say I know when we were in band, I don't remember ever seeing a male flute player.
Yeah, he super loves his flute. Like, he's been super committed, so that's what he wanted to play before he even started band. Like, he was in 6th grade, and he just decided then that's what he wanted to play. And he has the opportunity to switch to a piccolo if he wanted to, but he is so determined that he wants to play his flute. He's not interested.
Every time I see a piccolo, I just think it's made with a loaf of bread every freaking time
But
without
he just
fail.
he did not sign up to play a piccolo. He wants to play a flute, and that is what he's played. So, which is fine with me because I've almost got his flute paid off. So I'm totally cool with sticking with it.
Payments on things are expensive. Just ask our
Yeah. So, last week, it was our shortest trip so far. I invited Richard.
That's why I got invited. It's because you're like, I can't ride with him for 4 hours.
Whatever. So I invited Richard to come with us. I had the itinerary, which our school is super serious about their itinerary.
Oh, God.
And they follow it very closely, which it's fine with me. Like, I like knowing when we're doing things.
It's a little too much structure for me.
But I didn't realize that they were going to spend like I don't know why they left 4 hours for a trip that only takes 2 hours.
Yeah, which, I mean, honestly, maybe even an hour and a half if you don't hit traffic.
Yeah, I don't know. And I know that they allot time for when they stop to use the restroom because there's almost 200 kids in the band.
Oh, no, it's a small army.
Yeah, they allot 45 minutes.
They're on level 3 on Clash of Clans.
Yeah, exactly. So they allot 45 minutes so they can all, use the restroom and buy snacks and whatever, at whatever place they stop at.
You had the opportunity to say whatnot. You've already said a muck. I figured whatnot was coming and you didn't take it.
Yeah, I could have. It wouldn't have surprised me at all for that to work its way into
I'm
my
a little
vernacular.
sad now.
Yeah. So anyway, we had to stop off and waste some time.
Did we?
We stopped at Memphis, Tennessee at the Bass Pro in the Pyramid. And
For any of you who have ever been to a Bass Pro, it's a Bass Pro.
it's the first one I've ever been to.
Ever?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, never been to one. But I bought some fudge.
Oh, God, we're going straight into this.
Yes, I bought some fudge. And because I love almost all things sweet. And
What don't you love other than candy corn?
Jesse kept pointing out all the licorice. I don't like licorice.
Oh, well, to let you know, you like Twizzlers.
I like the cherry pull and peel Twizzlers.
So when we do our Halloween episode, when we're doing the candy tournament, make sure it's cherry pull and peel Twizzlers.
like,
just
it's
for
very
Twizzlers.
specific.
I'll make sure of that so that way you
And
don't
occasionally they have too much of a licorice taste, in which I throw them away. Because I
wanna see
don't
you-
like.
I want to see you eat a red vine.
No. No. That's gross. I don't even like the regular Twizzlers. Like, they have to be the pull and peel.
Oh my God.
So, anyway, I buy fudge. And I don't know why they describe their fudge as chunks. Like, why don't they just say pieces?
No, it's chunky fudge.
It's gross. I don't like that.
Chunky fudge sounds like a really bad funk band.
It's gross. So, anyway, they have a really great deal. You buy 4 pieces of fudge for $14.95 and you get 2 more pieces.
Okay,
Or
so
chunks.
let's point out. They're big pieces of fudge.
They are.
This is not like your average mom and
Like-
pop shop you go into and get like the small piece for like $2
Yeah.
each.
Like, when I
No, they're
say
huge.
chunks, like, they are good sized chunks.
They're the
So,
size of
you know,
a Beanie Baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably
It's a-
even the same weight.
It
No,
was
they
a-
might be a little bit more heavy.
It
than
really
Beanie
was
Baby.
a good deal. So, since there was 3 of us, we each picked out 2 flavors.
Did Jesse actually pick out 2?
Well, I ordered one for him. Like, I know he likes cookies and cream. Because when I make fudge, I make cookies and cream fudge for him. Because I don't like it.
Okay. You have a friend whose favorite candy bar is the Hershey's Cookies and Cream candy bar.
I haven't made fudge in 2 years.
You should start getting to work on that.
I haven't made it because it's a little bit of an ordeal. It takes time.
Give me the recipe. I'll do
And
it.
I can give it to you. It's real easy.
I'll do
But I haven't made it partially
pack some
because
fudge.
I have no Christmas spirit, and that's normally when I make it.
Oh, that's
and
changing
normally,
this year.
Normally, no one notices until like Christmas is past, and I'm like, sorry, Christmas is over.
So if I was
So-
the dickhead and just bought you all the supplies to make it before Christmas, it would force you into making it for
Probably
everybody.
not. I still have marshmallow cream in my cabinet from like 2 years ago. It's expired. I need
I
to
would
throw it
help.
away.
I would try to help everyone get their fudge. I would be that person.
It's really not hard. I can send you the recipe. It just takes time. You just have to stir it constantly or it'll burn.
Oh no, that's
know?
all fudge. Yeah, no, that's what my mom
Yeah.
made. It was with marshmallow fluff,
Yeah.
and you had to stir it and stir it and stir
Yeah.
it. And I have the strength of like 40 men in my right arm. So
Yeah, you just have to really, really watch it or it'll burn.
for everyone who does not understand, that was a masturbation joke. Continue
I just
on.
chose to ignore it.
No, I just
Yeah.
there was,
Yeah, so we got our fudge and then we wandered around in the store and looked at stuff that we didn't really need for about an hour.
So can I just point out how uncomfortable I always feel in Bass Pro? It's like, okay, so I'm not outdoorsy at all. you know this. Like, I'm not one to be like, let's go outdoors, woo! And no, every time I'm in there, I'm just like, this is not my scene.
I wanted to pick up one of the ducks.
Oh yeah, no, the ducks are cool. Like,
Yeah.
there's some cool parts of that Bass Pro. Like, if you go all the way up at the top of the pyramid, it costs $10. But if you go all the way up and you look out and you're able to get that,
I like how it advertises elevator rides.
well, I mean, it's like what? I think it's like 40 stories.
Yeah.
But you actually
To
see.
me, it's weird that that's an attraction, like an elevator ride.
But you get to see over the entire pyramid as you're going
Still
up.
weird.
If you're afraid of heights, it's not the thing to do.
Yeah, it's still weird. So anyway, we get our fudge and leave, and I ate like half of one piece of fudge on the way there. You know, I probably would have ate it all if no one would have judged me. But anyway,
Who would have judged you?
Jesse would have judged me.
I was gonna say, like,
I mean, he wouldn't really, but he would have been mean to me about it. Like, he would have like picked at me. He would have teased me about it. So
sometimes you just have to let that stuff go.
So luckily we had a cooler in the back with drinks, so we had someplace safe to put the fudge so it didn't melt because it was like 110 degrees.
We packed away the fudge.
Yes, we did.
That's the second time I've made that joke. Yes.
Because it was like 110 degrees out
It
there.
was hot as balls.
And
Which it's not this week. We'll talk about that.
and then because the poor children have to basically. I mean, I don't really legitly don't know how they do this. I've talked about it before. Like, their uniforms for some of the schools are so hot.
Oh, yeah, that's
I don't
miserable.
know. I mean, I don't know how some of them just don't fall
I wish
over.
it was the weather today
Yeah.
that they had last weekend. I would have been much happier.
We've been to a couple competitions where ambulances have actually had to be called
Jesus.
for kids. Yeah, because they'll
Heat's
pass out and stuff.
It's shitty.
Yeah.
You can take layers off, but you can only go to a certain point.
So this competition is actually the shortest one that we've been to. It started at 6 o'clock. I thought it started at 4. So again, we were there way too early.
Yeah, I know. So, I'm ready to go. Like, I think you guys told me to be ready at noon.
Yeah.
I want to point that at noon for something that starts at 6.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I'm telling you, I
I'm
was
just
very
here.
misled by the itinerary.
I'm just here.
But you got to appreciate the full effect of our
see a lot
band.
more. I got to see a lot more than I expected. And that sounded really bad. I got to see a lot more of the competition.
The beginning
Yeah.
of it. Because you got to see our 18-wheel trailer, all of the smaller trailers, the buses,
Taylor Swift's concert had 30 to 50 18-wheelers.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing how big that stage was and all the stuff that makes sense to me. Seeing high school bands have an 18-wheeler and
Yeah.
like 4 trailers makes me go, what the fuck?
get to see all of the kids, like, not just carrying off their instruments, which is to be expected, but all of the ginormous props and assembling a cabin. I
didn't see the assembling part of the cabin, but I'm still weirded out by like the 1.5 million trees.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah. It is actually 30 trees.
But when it's like lined up with other schools who have trees,
Which is really weird.
it looked
'cause,
like they all look the same too.
they all had similar designs. Yeah. I mean, one was different because they just had the front. Ours were all the way around.
But the design still was practically like it still looked the same.
The front, yeah. It was like half of it was.
If
the same.
you went back there, it looked like the 100-acre woods.
Yeah.
It even had the bad part of the 100-acre woods.
It was really weird because we've been to multiple competitions now at this point. This is the only place I've been where there was other schools that had trees, and it was 2 other schools. It was really weird. Like, we had a whole forest.
Yeah, and all the trees went up against the, like, right in a row. It's like
Now,
tree.
When I say trees, I'm not talking about like a little tree. Our tree, we have 30 trees that are 12 foot, 10 foot, and 8 foot tall.
That's a lot of trees.
They're pretty impressive, and they are hard to push because as a person now who is considered a chaperone, we at our very first our very first night that we were preparing for competitions, I had to be taught how to push them off the field. I didn't say stage this time. Field, and how to take them apart and help get them onto the trailer. That way, when we get to go to our big competitions that are coming up, I could be able to assist. And they're very hard to push. So
I'm glad I'm just sitting
when
in the
we
crowd
see
for state.
when you got to see our children turning them on the stage on the field, I really did say it that time. They make it look pretty easy, and it's not. It's not easy at all. So,
And some of them didn't even make that look easy when they're turning them either. Like it's I'm assuming they're pretty heavy.
It's a struggle. It was a struggle for me. But, and I had, when I was pushing them off the field, I actually had some of the kids who were like, here, let me show you a better way to push that. And they would like come over and help me and
Okay, so
make me feel very inferior.
I don't really know how strong you are. We've never actually had the test of an arm wrestling match. We're never going to. But I assume you're stronger than your average iCarly fan.
I've picked up patience before. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I know proper body mechanics, and I've been
that
taught how to
doesn't-
lift and turn
But that
and
doesn't
move
equate
things.
to a tree. Like you
It
can
doesn't.
lift a person up all day long, but that does not
And
equate
you
to a tree.
got to remember too that these are on football fields, which are not always the same. We were pushing across. Some are AstroTurf and some is regular
I
field
assume
grass.
AstroTurf might be easier to push on
Yes,
because it's
yeah.
like it's concreted and then it's just
Yeah, and some of them have little divots for sprinklers and things like that. You have to watch out for. All of those things are,
Something
just
to
kind of
watch,
add
yeah.
to it or kind of chaotic. But this competition was much shorter than the previous ones we've been to.
which is why I was invited. I get it.
Some of them start, as early as like 8 a.m. and then go on till midnight.
Which is what I assume state is, and that's on a bloody Monday.
Yeah. The bigger ones that we'll be going on to are, sometimes 2, 3, 5 days long. But this one only had 6 bands. And so it went from like 6 till
So like 7, 8,
8
15?
o'clock, 8, maybe 9. I don't know.
We were out of there by
sure.
9. We were
Yeah.
out of there by 9.
So it was by far like the nicest one as far as like easy viewability. Like it was really pleasant.
No, it was nice.
Yeah. One of my favorite things that going to these competitions is the kids are so wonderful.
Okay, this is what took me back. Seeing everyone
They're so great.
Yeah, seeing everyone so friendly takes me back to performing in speech competition. Okay, so I don't think you guys had that here, where you would take like a piece of a play and perform every character as yourself. Like you
no,
would
we
do
had we had the thespian competitions, but I
I'm
didn't
gonna assume
actually
that's
go.
almost-
I didn't
yeah.
go to them.
So we had those, and then like debate was part of the speech competitions, and like that's what we did in Missouri. Everyone was so friendly. Like anytime we'd see each other outside of the schools, because that would happen in a small area, you'd see other speech members. You'd just be like,
Yeah.
"What's up?" And you have a bond.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that was.
And you'll
I
see
was
things.
excited.
You'll see like little things that they say to like other people's in their sections. Like there'll be like little different things that they'll yell, and it just makes my heart really happy
We got to talk about something that happened to you, though.
about me not knowing what they're.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first time I chaperoned, I'm seeing all these wonderful like interactions in between the different schools and them telling them, congratulations, you did a great job, or good luck as they're going out there. And then I see like some of our kids doing what I thought was like a C with their hands. And I'm watching them, I'm like, I sure hope that they're not being disrespectful.
Okay, so what word came to your mind when you saw the C?
Well, honestly, I really didn't think of anything.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I was so close, everybody. I'm sorry.
I honestly didn't. I'm just like trying to figure out what they're doing because I'm like, is this some type of like some type of slang
like
or
a
sign?
band gang symbol?
Yeah, I'm like, what the crap are they doing?
Clarinets, bitches.
Yeah.
Like,
And then, like, literally, I'm like watching them like all day long do this. And then finally, I see one girl do with her hand and then another one with another girl, and they put their hands together and it makes a heart. Like, they're half hearts. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it really genuinely was like
you
a
just
nice.
seem disappointed by this. Like,
No, like I felt stupid because here I'm thinking like our kids are being rude and maybe I should go over there and tell them to like shut it down. But no, they were still being wonderful. Jesse and I
you're not hip on slang, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Jesse and I had another competition. We got to sit by these kids after they had played, and they were yelling about our group of kids out there, and they're like, I love me some flute boys, because we have 3, including my son. We have 3 boys that are in the flute section. And
Does that make you awkward as a parent?
No, it doesn't. I mean, he's a freshman in high school. It's fine.
Your son just got catcalled.
Yeah. And then they were also doing the same thing about our color guard. They were going, love me some guard boys, because we occasionally you will see boys on the color guard, but you'll see like one amongst like a whole group.
Oh, it's like 6.
Ours is a little under half.
I will say, I think though most of this is because there's a lot more dance in your guys'
Yes.
show that I've ever seen in anyone else's show. Because usually you just see flags.
Right.
flying.
We
That's
have
it.
a lot, and it's, we've got some ballet element to it. But even when they're just doing like during a football game, they'll actually get out there and do cheers and stuff like that. And it makes me really happy. Like even before Zeke was a part of the high school band when he was in junior high. I don't know what you're showing me.
It's a wrapper for an ice cream sandwich. It was in my desk.
Okay.
I don't know. I was opening it up to look for something, but
it makes me very happy that our school is inclusive with allowing so many boys on the color guard. But it just makes me laugh, like when we're out there and we get to see so many of the kids be just elated at all of our boys in non-traditional roles, I think.
it's awesome. Like that was an experience. Like everyone was just legit happy, and no one was down.
No. Mm-mm.
One of the highlights for me is even watching the parents be all just talking and everything, and I went, "This is insane."
Yeah, because I had a good conversation with the people that were beside us. They were cheering on. I don't know if it was their children or their grandchildren, probably grandchildren, from another school, and I had told them that our kids had come to see them because we had expected them to win, and they did. They played immediately after we did, and our kids typically they'll go immediately and start putting things away and getting ready, but they didn't. They hung out right on the side outside the fence, and our school being so large, our band they completely covered
the entire fence.
But they didn't want to leave. They wanted to watch them play because just having the opportunity to see how amazing the school was very important to them. And I wanted to let the people know that our school, the children were so excited and they expected them to win, and they were completely okay with that because they knew how great they were. And she told me, she said, our school was worried about y'all. She said, we wanted to see what they could do. And that was really nice just to know that there was equal appreciation.
So I know if I was judging, I know it would have been that's would have been 1 and 2 for me. That's not how it ended up.
That's okay though.
And that happens. You get different judges. It's part of life. You're going to get different responses from different people. Someone's going to like this more than they like something else. And that's just
that's
life.
one of the reasons it's valuable that we actually do get the feedback from the judges.
Oh God, that reminds me of speech competition so much.
Yeah.
So the competition, like, by the way, the end of so I got to talk about the band from the college that played.
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to touch on something. I did not know they had to pay the rights for the music.
Yes.
I did not know this the entire time.
Right.
I was like, oh, they'll be able to pick out whatever songs they want. That's why I was like, why didn't I hear any song that I actually knew?
Right. No,
because I didn't.
And you will. Well, I mean, there was Creep.
Yeah, but
that.
But it took me a while to realize that's what it was.
There is some that we hear. Like Jesse and I had seen a band at a previous competition that did Black Hole Sun, and it was awesome. Like
that is a different song.
And they had an electric flute. And the instrument actually has a different name, but that's basically what it is. And they all had black hoodies on. And they walked onto the field like super slow
you
and
almost
creepy.
Said stage.
I did. It's really hard for me not to say stage.
Field.
It was super, super creepy and awesome. And Jesse and I just absolutely loved it. And Zeke, he liked it. It was fine, but he didn't understand. He was like, that song was okay. And so later I played Black Hole Sun for him.
Oh, it's a great song.
I love it. I played it. He was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, oh my gosh, Zeke, like you don't even understand. You have zero appreciation.
It's a great song.
It really is. Yeah. But so occasionally you will hear more current or more pop songs, but for a majority, you don't.
Well, see, that kind of baffled me. I was like, I expected to hear, because I know if I was a band director, I know what song in my head would automatically be in my show.
Yeah.
House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah, I love that song.
That is such a great song.
Yeah.
And I feel it would be an amazing band song.
Yeah, I think it would too.
Hint, hint, twink, wink, nudge, nudge for anybody who's looking for music.
Yeah,
Please look
I think
that
so. I
'Cause
agree.
it's from the 60s. I think it's cheap.
The animals, but it's been redone.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah,
it's that.
because Jesse and I disagree because I love the original and he likes the redone version.
Okay, there's so many
And
different versions.
I don't dislike it, but I
found a
love the
bluegrass
original.
version that's so good. That's what I'm like. There's so many different versions of that song.
Yeah,
As long as the person can sing and has a
it's
good voice, yeah.
mhm.
But a band
It's
doing
another
it,
haunting.
but a band doing it would be tremendous.
Yeah,
Just throwing out ideas.
yeah.
So, like, that's something I did not get, but until the community college band took the field, which I did not expect to sound that loud, by the way. That was BAM!
And see, out of all of the college, because a lot of the competitions will end with a college band.
Yeah, they'll do the local college band, and there'll be a song.
Right.
You'll hear songs you know most of those.
Out of all of them, that actually was my least favorite.
I enjoyed
version.
it, but I was just like, phew.
Yeah, that was my least favorite competition or performance from college band.
But during Crazy Train, like they did anthems one. But during Crazy
yeah.
Train, when they took that cloth thing, that flag,
Yeah,
thing,
that was pretty cool.
and went over the entire band with it without touching anybody.
Yeah,
that was pretty amazing.
Right.
But they also had an electric guitarist, which just
that was great. That was great. And anytime like
the band was super loud, but the guitarist was perfect.
Right.
Like the two guitars was like, this is amazing.
I love when and it's not just for the colleges, for any time we see a band that has an instrument that's completely different, I love it. Like we saw, not this competition, but the one previous, there was a high school band that had a violin.
Was it the electric violin?
It was.
Like
And
a Lindsey Sterling kind?
Yes,
Yeah.
and it was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. So anytime there's like a kind of an unexpected instrument thrown in, I absolutely love that. I know there's a couple of instruments that our kids play regularly and I don't know what they are. I could ask my kid. I don't remember. But I know there's a couple of instruments that we play in our band just routinely that a lot of the other schools don't because they're typically considered to be too heavy to march with. But our kids just do it all the time because that's what they wanted to play. And
I hope to God when I go, I'm going with you. I'm going to state with Jess.
Yeah.
Because Jesse's like, you want to go to stay with me?
I'll be chaperoning, so I'll be riding the bus and spending all the time. Again, I want to say backstage, but away from where I won't be able to sit with y'all. But
so I'll just be hanging out with your husband all day, pretty much.
Right.
I swear to God, if I see a band with bagpipes, they're going to be my automatic favorite. Like I just don't care.
I have not seen any to date. But
That's just an instrument I know a lot of people can't stand. But my God, the sound of bagpipes makes me happy.
Yeah. I really love our band directors because they let the kids do a lot of instruments that as long as they can teach it and as long as our kids can carry it, they don't care. They'll let them do it. I know that there was something that they did as a part of their spring concert, a song that required the gong to be like hit and then dipped into water, like the huge one. And they did it. Like they had this giant pool of water out there and they hit it and dropped it into the water. It was really cool.
Just out of curiosity. I got to touch on something else that's happened. Before even the awards are announced, let's touch on the band director. Because all those guys were having so much fun, which you don't see from teachers. Just going to throw that out there.
So our band director, we've got one main director,
and
then we've
77
got
others.
3 assistant directors, and then we've got like a supporting team of like 20. Like I couldn't even tell you who they all are. And our assistant directors, they look like kids. Like they dress super casually, except for the competitions, and then they were out there in like full
Here
suit.
come the men in black.
Yeah. They're very young. Most of them actually graduated from our school, which I think is awesome.
That's actually kind of impressive.
I think it's
'cause
awesome.
That never happens.
Right. Most
That
of them
never
were band kids themselves,
Nerds.
which is great. I love that they went to our school. They actually participated in the program. They loved it enough that they want to come back and give back to the school. I think that's amazing. But seeing our kids with the directors is kind of an eerie thing at first because they move like an army. They really, truly do. They listen like an army. He can call out whatever their section is and they'll put up their hands and they are to show that they are full attention. They all have a number assigned to them, which I thought was really super weird at first until I realized like it's not that. It's he calls them something and they respond. And I kept asking my kid, I was like, what is that number he's calling you? My kid always answers this way. He's like, I don't know, Mom. I'm like, oh my gosh sake. He calls y'all something and you answer. I don't know what you mean, Mom. I'm like, oh my gosh, child. He was like,
Typical high schooler?
yeah. He's like, I'm F3. I'm like, what does F3 mean? He was
Battleship!
Like, he was like, I play flute 3. I was like, okay, makes complete sense. So, I mean, he just calls these kids by their numbers most of the time. Unless you're Cheyenne. There's a girl named Cheyenne out there that's always getting in trouble for something. But they all just respond and they move super, super seamlessly. And it's very astounding to get to watch this. But while the kids were waiting to for the results, they were playing music.
Oh, I can even tell you the 2 songs. I don't know if you still know them. First of all,
yeah,
the Cupid Shuffle,
right,
which is one of my favorite dance songs ever.
Which I can't do because my brain moves too slow.
How you can't do the Cupid?
I can't respond that quick, and I'm always like
to the left.
I'm always like 2 steps behind, and I'm pretty sure my child will be that. Well, I say that I think he's so much like me in that, but
I thought he was doing it,
but no, he says he was not. I asked him. I think very much that my kid was like me, but now he's able to do super complicated band routines, like learning some of the moves the day before, and he does it perfect. So
when we launch the video stuff, can that be something we see? You doing
No.
Damn it.
Absolutely not. I know I can't do it. Why would I do it?
Well, just to let everyone see it, and then we can get a good laugh when we're editing it.
So they were doing that. They played that song, and they played YCM. Wow.
YCM?
Yes. YMCA. And so we look over at our massive band army and our band directors, which
are all in a line.
Which includes the main ones and the assistant directors.
Everyone's in a line.
And they're out there doing the dances.
Dun, dun, dun. Like the whole thing.
All
like
of
with
them.
The finger and everything.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And the directors are out there in like their full suits. The main director's out there in a red
Oh, yeah, no, he stood out.
suit top. It was pretty awesome. And then, everyone in the stands are watching them, and then they start doing them along with them. And I'm like, this is the closest that I'm ever going to get to a flash mob. And it is amazing.
I'll make that happen in your life.
I've really wanted to see one forever. But apparently, when you want to see something spontaneous and you plan it, it just doesn't work out that way. But
Eventually, I'll make that happen.
It was pretty great.
I've been wanting to do a flash mob for a long time.
It was really great. And that's one of the things that I've come to appreciate about our band director. He's really tough on our kids. He expects a lot from them. But then the moment that they're done,
he likes to have fun.
Yeah, or the moment that he's with the parents and the kids aren't there, he just talks so much about how amazing they are, how hard workers they are. And he just really, really loves them and the work that they put into it. And so it's been a really good experience for me as a parent to see that.
So competition's over. We're on the way home. We stop at a truck stop. I eat some chili.
Yep.
That pretty much sums up the trip.
It's one of those stupid the stupid gas stations where you have a restaurant attached to it.
It's a full truck stop with a shower for truckers. Like, I'm going to make that because it's not... Truckers have to eat.
Yes.
So, but that was the first time I actually chose not to get French fries with a burger for the first time in my life. Fuck potatoes.
And I had a baked potato because it was a
funny.
Wendy's.
Yeah, it was like, ooh. So we get home. I've got a migraine, by the way, at this point, because I had been outside the day before cleaning out the nastiest house in the world because I opened up a closet in that house and there was a can of olives that had been there probably since the house was built. Probably the house was built around the can of olives.
That's pretty bad.
So I go to throw it in the trash can and I pick it up and the can starts to just disintegrates on me. And instead of olives going everywhere, it's a powder. Like, they have disintegrated into a powder.
That's gross.
And it's the first time I have cursed around Ashley's granny. Because there is just no way you can pick that up and not go, what the fuck? Like, there's just no way that is not an option at that point.
Pretty bad.
So that was my Friday. And then my Saturday, I'm with you. So,
yeah.
Complete 180.
And we were out there in the heat. And,
the house had no air conditioning.
Yeah.
And it was in DeWitt.
Yeah.
So if you know, it's a small town. It actually has a fucking Piggly Wiggly. But that's about the only thing they have. We come flying, like I come back up. I get back in at like 8 o'clock the next night and leave. Well,
Right.
I felt like poo, but I knew the heat would get to me eventually. So it
Right.
wasn't the band competition that got to me. It was the day before. So I have a migraine when we get home. I get out of the car. I think I'd have grabbed everything. I did not.
So we have Sunday, and then Monday, and then I'm getting ready to go out to my car Monday, and I get a text that says, "I think I left the fudge in your car," and it's really hot. And so I sent a message back that says, "If the fudge is turned into a puddle in my car, I will kick you." And I go outside and I climb in my back seat, to which one of my coworkers comes over and says, "You're not supposed to get in the back. You drive in the front." I was like, "Yeah, thank you.
Greatest thing.
Thank
ever.
you so
That makes
very
the-
much.
That just makes this story even
Thank you so
better.
very much, Alicia." And I was like,
Go,
I
get the
was like,
driving arms.
I was like, "Yeah, but Alicia, I don't see the fudge. Good news. Good news." I was like, "There's no fudge in my back seat. We're fine. We're fine." So I drive home and I was like, "Hey, Richard," I was like, "I don't see any fudge." He was like, "Really? Are you sure? Because it's not here." He was like,
so the dog ate it.
He was like, "It was on the armrest," which the armrest is the center console in the back seat that flips down and has the cup holders.
I'm pretty sure, by the way, I didn't put that up.
And I look back there. No one had been back in my back seat.
I didn't know
it
if
had-
you guys had cleaned it after I got.
Nope, it had to have been you. No
That
one had been back
sucks.
there. So I look back there, and the center console has been flipped up.
You didn't take your kids to work in our school on Monday morning?
Zeke sits in the front seat.
I didn't know if you take both of them.
Just Zeke. Because Eli has to be drove out to Oak Grove, which is, I can,
No, I know where that is.
yeah,
No,
I couldn't drop both of them off and make it to work in time. So I park and I get out of my car and pull down the center console, and there is 2 chunks of very hot, squished fudge. And they're still wrapped in like the wax paper that they put it in. And these are completely smushed flat inside the center console and the back of my car seat. And amazingly, they're still contained within that. And I picked them up like so gingerly, like it's just like oozing out. It's like what you would expect like some alien life form to look like, you know? And I look and it's basically my car's okay. Like it just looks like there's something like super oily there. Like you just left a pile of French fries or something.
Or like someone's sweaty and they'll set the elbow down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that does happen a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, all in all, it wasn't terrible.
I want you to know how
Could've been
bad
worse.
Okay, so you want to know how bad I panicked? I go, all of a sudden, I'm doing something. I don't know what it is at this point. I think a package came or something. Like I was like, I'm doing something crazy. All of a sudden, I'm walking out of the office. I might have been editing one of the author interviews. I walk out of the office. I get to where the chair is in our living room, the rocking chair that's just piled with shit. And I go, oh, fuck, where's the fudge? This is it. I think 10 minutes before I texted you. So I started searching the house because I'm like, did I bring in the fudge? Because I know I brought in my iPad and they were sitting on my iPad. Just want to point that out going into this. So I think the problem was when I started looking for the block. I think that's
Which is
what
in my
happened.
car. You need to get it out.
I got it.
Oh, well, then there's a block in there that must belong to one of my kids that lost it. Because I found a little white charging block.
No, I took one out of your car. There was
Okay.
2 there. So
Well, it must belong to one of my kids.
I was like, hey, I got my charging block.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm like, oh shit. And I guess when I went to get the iPad, I just forgot that those were there and I just put it, I guess that's what happened. So I figured out that I'm like, oh shit, I think they're in Sharon's car. And
Which would be fine if it was like 20
today's
degrees
weather.
outside.
Today's
yeah.
weather would have been great. They would have been still good. They might have been a little smushed, but they would have been good. No, it was like 110.
Yeah.
So I text you as soon as I remember.
And I'm at work.
Oh God! So this makes things worse. I'm not a patient person. Patience is not a virtue I have ever possessed.
And you can't just pull out your phone while you're bringing back patients.
No, I know.
Kind of.
I know. So one, I was like, she's gonna fucking kick my ass. The whole time. Like, I'm just, oh, God.
And I pull that out, and I've still got like 20 minutes to go. And all I can imagine is there is like a pile of cookies and cream and peanut butter chocolate
what type of fudge it was.
fudge that is now like liquefied into the upholstery of my car. Because I don't have a nice leather upholstery where you can just wipe it down. No, I've just got fabric, and it's just like oozed into it.
Which I said I would get your car cleaned if it happened. Which was awesome. I did say that.
You did. You
So,
did.
I would have went through on that if I needed
Yeah,
to.
I believe you. I don't doubt that.
But I'm like, oh my God. So when Ashley calls me before you text, and I told Ashley, I'm like, I'm the world's worst friend. And Ashley's like, no, you're not. Things happen. I'm like, no one forgets fucking fudge. Like, the only person who forgets fudge is like a diabetic who shouldn't be eating fudge. And
I have plenty of patients who are diabetic, and they still don't forget it. They still take the suckers that are for the kids.
So that tells you how bad I must have been feeling that night. But yeah, after it was all said, it Ashley's trying to calm me down because, like I said, patience is not a virtue, and I'm panicking. So when I talk on the phone, I pace. How I do a podcast is still beyond me. So when I talk on the phone, I'm just pacing around the apartment like in a constant circle. And I'm waiting for a text, and then you said, there's no fudge in the back seat. That's the text I get. Like, after you said you're going to kick me, I get the text of, there's no fudge in my back seat. I go, really? And I tell Ashley, I'm like, oh my God, I brought it in. The dog ate the fudge. And I'm now freaking out even more.
Which at this point, it's 2 days later. Like, the dog's probably fine.
Either the dog ate the fudge or the cat's
Like,
been eating the
my
fudge.
little tiny weenie dog, when she was a puppy, jumped up on the kitchen table while we were gone, ate an entire box of Cadbury eggs, and later vomited out the foil. She lived. She's fine. Your dog would have been okay.
I mean, yeah, like, it would have been one of those things where you panic a little,
Yeah.
but... So yeah, after I said it was in the center console, what the hell? This fudge is not here. I'm freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
I left fudge somewhere and I don't know where it is.
That's when I looked back there and I'm like, oh my God, that center console is up. And I'm like, what's going to happen when I pull it down? It's like one of those things where you pull it down, you're not really looking, you're just like, what up?
I think I'm going to title this episode Fudge Packing. It's just because.
Well, you should have, and because I've got my purse, and I've got like my phone in one hand and a bottle of water, and the other one I've just got like this hot puddly fudge wrapped up in that wax paper, and I'm just like
Puddle of fudge.
Yeah.
It's a puddle of mud cover band.
because I don't know the integrity of this wax paper still. I'm just like, I don't know if it's going to like bust open at any point. Is it going to make it inside? And I'm like banging on the front door, like hoping one of my kids will come and open it. And Eli, who still doesn't realize there was fudge that came back over the weekend, he was like, what's that in your hand? What's that? And I'm like, nothing. Mind your business. Nothing. Just open the door. So
You could have just said I bought it.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I ate the whole chocolate fudge. My piece, my second piece, I ate it all yesterday.
Well, I was going to say,
I didn't even use a little spoon. I
You're
just
just
like,
like,
literally, I just bit it off. It was
like,
terrible.
I'm sad that I never got the fudge.
Well, it's there. I will bring it. It is completely flat.
So it'd be like eating a candy bar. Almost.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm wondering if it's still good. That's my
I don't know, I guess.
That's it. Next episode of Live, everybody. I'm going to eat that fudge.
I feel like we should write to Bass Pro and be like, whatever wax paper you were using, it is amazing. Like, you're getting a great deal.
It's plastic wrap, everybody. It's that plastic thing.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's good stuff. I love plastic cling.
It works wonderfully. They should not switch.
My dog's just roaming around right now. Like, where's Fudge? All right. So a lot of stuff happened this week in the nerd world. And I mean, for the first time, probably in what, like 6 months?
Yeah, it's been
since
a while.
Comic-Con?
It's been a while since we've had anything decent to talk about.
Number one, I think the premiere of Doctor Who, it smashed okay, so it's the highest rated premiere for a Doctor since David Tennant.
I'm not on social media, and
Yeah.
I've still heard about how awesome it was.
Jodie
I've not
Whittaker.
seen it, but I've heard it. Just everything that I have read has been how amazing it was.
Okay, so that's where we're at. I'm not going to spoil it for you because you haven't seen the episode yet, and you should. Jodie Whittaker, I don't know how she has done it, but she has channeled her own version of the Doctor mixed with a little bit of Tennant.
That's awesome.
And I went, uh-oh. She might become everyone's favorite Doctor. And I know when everyone was seeing and I hate to go this route, but this is exactly what happened. A female was cast as the Doctor. You know that people freaked out.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Brody and I talked about, we even know someone that said they would never cosplay the Doctor again because it's a female.
So stupid.
Yeah. So when we were talking last week on live about how we don't know will she be able to handle the pressure, not only was she able to handle the pressure, if you didn't like the script, which I saw a lot of people, there was a few that didn't like the way the show was written,
Sure.
but loved her.
Right.
And I go, that's a huge thing. Because when someone else takes the script over for an episode,
Right. 'Cause
she's going to
you
shine.
can't help with what you're given, you know?
No. I like Chris Chibnall a lot. I think he's a great writer. He writes very, like, it's structured writing. But she was phenomenal. Like, she is going to be a shining star in this season of Doctor Who, and maybe for the next couple of years.
I've seen her in other things, and I've thought
Broadchurch, yeah.
And there's another show too where she's a nurse that pretends to be a doctor, but there's not very
I've
many.
seen that, yeah.
There's not very many episodes, which is really sad. I think they just stopped making them. She was excellent in it as well. I've never seen her do anything that was not excellent.
Two things. One, the way she figures out how her outfit is freaking hysterical. I feel like that's one of the best things. And two, there's a moment in the show, and I'm not going to spoil it, but anyone who's seen the episode is going to know what I'm talking about. There's a moment in the show that she does something that no other Doctor has ever done, but with spoons.
Nice.
And it is maybe the best moment in the new revival of Doctor Who. And I say that without a shadow of doubt. It is the best moment I've ever seen in the show's run. That's
Okay.
all I'm going to tell you. And you're going to be like, holy shit, when you see, like, you might actually curse. That's how awesome this moment is.
We shall see. I'll let you know. I will
I feel-
provide an update.
I feel like after this episode's over, you're going to go home and be like, I'm going to figure to see if this is any good. And then you're going to watch it. And that moment happens. You're going to be like, holy shit.
I think just about anybody who takes on the role as the Doctor, I think they understand the importance of it. I don't think anyone takes that on casually.
I think Eccleston may have. The way he describes his time at the
think that
Doctor, he did.
I think that if anyone did, I agree with you. I don't think that he planned on it sticking.
No, he did. It's kind of the same way Kate on NCIS figured that the show wouldn't be around after 3 seasons, so she just left.
Yeah.
And needless to say, that show's still going on.
I guess I should rephrase that and say I don't think anyone Tenet or Forward
took it lightly.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Like, everyone seemed to really love the fact that they were the Doctor.
right.
Except for Eccleston. Like, that's
Yeah.
one reason I don't care for him as the Doctor. Like, I don't know.
I liked it fine, but I mean, the way his character's personality was, I mean, I like that. I mean, he was real sarcastic, and there were certain parts of it that I enjoyed.
Jodie went and did an interview this past week where she said she wants to bring back 3 characters from the past to work with her. And I feel, because you haven't seen it, you'll understand when you see this. It's like, oh, that would be awesome. Number 1 was Billie Piper. I was kind of like, so the 13th Doctor and Rose Tyler might happen at some point because she really wants to work with Billie Piper.
Jessica can't stand Rose.
I can't stand Rose. Rose is like my least favorite companion.
She's not high on my list, but she's definitely not the least favorite.
Well, that's Clara now. So,
Yeah, but still, after Clara, she's still not my least favorite.
who's after Clara for you?
I wasn't crazy about Martha.
Well, okay, so Martha has, but if you go back and watch the episodes with Martha, you realize that there's so many iconic moments in that run.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
And that's crazy to think about because, like, you completely forget about Martha.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stories from that run that I did enjoy, but I mean, it's like Capaldi. The last season with Capaldi was really good.
I love Bill.
I-
Bill was such a good companion.
But I mean, the I guess I should step back. The last part of Capaldi's with Claire had some really good stories.
But with her, yeah, no, the last like 5 episodes with Clara
there
was
a really
so good.
storyline.
And I went finally, and then
and
Claire's
it ended
story-
well for her. Like I feel they wrapped it up in a respectable way,
which
for her,
which
for
was
her
a really
character.
creative way to take out a character, I think.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't care for after like Matt left. I thought Clara probably should have gone too.
Yeah.
And we discussed that before, but
Yeah, because it was a really weird thing that they tried to do with her character. Like she had such a great storyline, and then you're just like, why did they keep this
well,
going?
it's kind of how the thing goes where it's like this just became Clara Who.
Yeah.
And I didn't care for that. But Bill, I freaking love Bill.
I do too.
And I'm sad that Bill was only around for one season. But she did get the happy send-off
Right.
kind of. She may have had the horrible ending, but she got the happy ending too.
Right.
It's like every companion with the exception of Donna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like everyone had a great moment except for fucking Donna.
Yeah.
But
Jesse can't stand Donna either.
well, he's wrong.
He's so cranky.
And
So cranky.
which that means he should like her.
Which he hates the actress in The Office too.
Oh, her.
I'm like, you just don't understand her.
He hates her character in The Office. Yeah.
I'm like, you just don't understand.
So she wants to work with Billy Piper. The second person she wants to work with is Alex Kingston, and I feel 13th and a River Song would be phenomenal.
I just feel like anytime you can bring in River Song, you know.
But the one that I want more than anyone else is John Barrowman, because I feel Captain Jack and a female
And
doctor would be freaking gold.
He's like River Song. You can bring him anytime, and it makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, if
Those
he ages,
characters.
not to spoil anything if you haven't seen Doctor Who, but you kind of know if he ages what happens. So
I mean, those characters at any point, at any time, you can bring them back, and it's fine.
it's okay because
It's fine.
so she wants to work with them. The second episode premieres tonight, and to add, I think it's the first time we see Jodie's TARDIS. So that, I mean, you know how the Doctor is with the first episode. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I like Jodie. I think Jodie's going to be a great thing. Like, I think she's going to have a great run. I do believe it'll only be like 3 or 4 seasons because I feel that should be the run.
Right.
No one should ever do more than 5.
No,
But,
I don't think so.
And I'm pretty stoked to see where her character goes.
I am slightly nervous to see what they do in the future.
I'm kind of hoping for some things now. The companions, by the way, I was panicking over. They sold me.
Okay.
So I think because they gave the companions a backstory in the first episode where you go, what? That's the first time I've seen that. Because even with Clara, you never got a backstory until like halfway through her run.
Yeah.
You get a backstory within the first 5 minutes.
With Claire, I was kind of like, I don't even know when any of this stuff happened. You know, when they try to work in her backstory, I was like, but I thought like this was going on. Like hers didn't make sense to me.
Rose might be the only other companion that had a true backstory.
Yeah.
But they actually give all the companions a backstory.
Yeah, because even when they tried to give Amy a backstory, it felt very uncomfortable.
Well, I mean,
Like
he
when
talked to a 6-year-old kid. I mean,
No, but I mean, like when they took a break and then they came back and they were trying to explain, like,
why they weren't together.
That was that.
There's
that
a
was
mini.
so sad.
There's an online episode that shows their breakup. By the way,
I don't want to see that.
it's a shitty episode.
I was gonna say, why would I want to see that?
Like he goes off and does something. She becomes a model. It's weird.
Yeah, we know what Rory was doing. We had his backstory.
So, other news this week coming from, I guess, Marvel and DC in the movie world. And this is
Wow.
I don't want to talk about this, but
Wow,
I feel
wow,
this is
wow.
such a big story. We have to talk about this. So earlier this year, we know that James Gunn got fired by Disney from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We know it's the tweets. They're very uncomfortable to read. I think I did send them to you eventually. And I mean, the question is, do people change over time? Like, and I know he says he was making jokes, but he never did any of those things. But can you change over time? Because I mean, that was 12 years ago. Are you the same person 12 years that you were 12 years ago?
No, of course not.
Yeah, that's so. Do you take that into consideration here, or do you just let that slide? Because the guy who outed the tweets, this is the most political I'm getting. I'm just going to say it now. The guy who outed the tweets is a right-wing nut job from InfoWars. Let's point that out because I feel that needs to be discussed.
I think always you should take into consideration a person's past.
Yeah.
Always. However, you've also got to look at the circumstance.
Yeah.
And he's tried very hard. And he's not, I don't feel that it's, people always say, well, it's an excuse. I don't think he's trying to make an excuse. He's tried to explain the reason. He's tried to say, hey, look, this was my attempt at comedy and it wasn't funny. And I am sorry for it. I learned that it didn't work and it was in poor taste. And I've stopped doing it.
And you can tell how he is at comedy and how good the Guardian scripts were.
And that's why I feel that it's not an excuse because he's taken responsibility for it.
Yeah, he actually owned up to his actions where a lot of people would
Right.
not.
And he said that this is not who I am, but it is what I tried. And it wasn't good. And I think that all of us have probably done things that we weren't proud of, whether it be, something small or it be something that was insulting to other people. And I think everyone should.
I think
keep
I
these
do that
things
every
in-
3 podcasts, honestly.
Everyone, I think it just bothers me that these types of things are not taken into consideration, because if it was a regular person doing I don't want to say trivial, because everything that everyone does affects someone. But I mean, if you were a cashier, you probably wouldn't have your entire life ruined because someone overheard you make a joke or you posted something.
I mean, you're in the public eye. There's
Yeah.
more scrutiny when you're in the
Right.
public eye. But yeah, it brought up an interesting point that I was like, well, I feel that since he took action, that's a great thing.
Right. And someone maliciously sought out.
Oh, no, they did.
these-
Because if
these-
you go back 12 years to look for something shitty, you're being a piece of shit
you
yourself.
have to put forth the effort to track this down and then publish it to where people can see it,
And it was a multiple amount of tweets. And yeah, they were really in poor taste. But someone went back 15 years, 12 to 15 years of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of tweets just to get to this segment of tweets that he posted.
Who doesn't have, like, on Time Hopper,
Facebook memories.
Yeah, who, like, brings up something you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I put that out there for people. Like, whether it's just something stupid
Oh,
or
I can tell you
embarrassing.
one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one right now. I got high one time. I'll just admit it. I think weed should be legal across all 50 states. But I digress. I got high one time and went weed plus cake equals pussy.
Not the best message to share.
What the hell did I even mean by that?
Yeah, not the best.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was a very random statement.
But if someone decided that you should lose your entire reputation, your livelihood, I mean, that would be insane.
Hold on 1 second. Shay! Dogs bark.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So
to me.
So when the James Gunn situation happened and Disney fired him, the stars of Guardian of the Galaxy took up for him and wrote this statement as a whole collective that they were standing behind James Gunn, which I do believe made Disney uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
really do think
I do.
this.
Yeah. And I think it kind of speaks volumes when an entire group of people
Like your entire
can
cast.
say, I support this person. Like, anytime you have a group of people, a large group of people that can agree on a whole about anything is a pretty amazing
Yeah.
thing. It just is.
And like when you look at the cat of Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Batista, I'm gonna forget somebody. Oh crap! I see Bradley Cooper and I can't think of his name. Triple X. So you're trying to get. I really can't think of his name right now. My mind just went blank. I say Vin Diesel.
Oh, yeah.
When you have that entire cast, the entire Guardians team,
Who all have different opinions, different backgrounds. I mean,
and probably I think Michael Rooker was part of that. When you have this entire team or this entire group that's pretty much a focal point right now of the Marvel Cinematic Universe come out and say, hey, we stand behind him, there has to be some note there. Somebody has to take note of that.
and again, they're not defending his
Tweets,
actions either.
Which they
They're
said
just
they
saying-
were disappointed in those,
Right.
but he's not the same person.
Right.
And and I think Batista is probably the most outspoken person that he wanted out of his contract then. Well, fast forward to this past week when Warner Brothers and DC hired James Gunn to pin Suicide Squad 2. What
Yeah.
the fuck? Marvel's lost here. Like, and this is not a knock, but Marvel may have just kind of turned the tide in the war of movies
Yeah.
by making that decision.
I mean, Guardians has been a monumental thing for Marvel.
And there's not going to be a third one. I guarantee now, I would say 95% sure that they will never make the third one.
If they try, it is going to be a complete different atmospheric feeling that, I mean, it's not going to be
It would be
the
such
same.
a different movie from 2 to 3. It wouldn't work.
It's going to be a disaster, I feel. I really feel it will. I feel ratings are going to suffer. I don't know how Infinity Wars is going to be because Guardians was...
It's already filmed. The second one's already filmed. It's done. It's in the can. I think they're doing edits right now. I think that's going to be their last movie.
Yeah.
I think they're done. I think everyone from that cast walks away.
Yeah.
Which we know that Chris Evans' last movie as Captain America is the last Avengers.
Right.
Like he even said that.
Right.
And we'll discuss that in a minute. But I think it's also going to be the last movie for the Guardians.
I think that a lot of the front runners for Marvel now are going to start stepping away.
Well, that's got to happen. Like I feel like
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is going to walk away from Iron Man.
We've already had Hugh Jackson who's done. I mean,
look,
Wolverine's
no one else will
finished.
ever play Wolverine.
Yeah.
Done.
No, and
Hugh
they should
Jackman
not.
is always going to be
Yeah.
Wolverine.
It will be terrible if they try. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So James Gunn's pinning Suicide Squad 2, and he has a different direction he wants to take it already, which the first one, I have a love-hate relationship with the first one.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really good things.
We just covered it for Cinecraft.
Yeah.
Like there's some moments, like I think getting the backstory of everyone was phenomenal. I love that part.
But there was parts that I just felt were really long and boring.
Well, now that I think about it, and I made this, like, when you're watching it going, this story's kind of shitty.
Yeah, it's just really boring.
The characters are great.
I think thematically there's a lot of really beautiful things.
But Will Smith and Margot Robbie carry that movie.
Absolutely.
And that's something we said with and then Carla, and I can't pronounce, Cara Delevingne, who played Enchantress. I think she was great.
I think that character, like, I absolutely loved that character. She was gorgeous.
But outside them, those three, I don't like the guy who plays Rick Flag.
Yeah.
I think it's the same guy who played the new RoboCop. We talked about that in Cinecrap. But I also think he comes across as a Jax Teller knockoff.
Yeah.
From Sons of Anarchy. I don't care. I love Viola Davis, but I hate Amanda Waller. And I know Waller's not a good guy in the comics, but still just don't like the way she's portrayed. Boomerang's not that great. Katana's okay, but I mean, there's so many parts of that movie that should have been a lot better.
To me, a lot of these characters are not memorable.
Outside Deadshot and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. And Enchantress.
Yeah. But 3 characters out of a movie with what, 8?
Yeah. Like I was picking this up and looking at it, I was like, I don't even really remember some of these.
Yeah, like it's kind of sad when you sit and think about it.
Yeah, I mean, with this cast, they should have made more of an impact.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And that's something that I go, is that David Ayer's fault? Because he wrote and directed it. And even he's all aboard James Gunn coming on and writing because he said it was so much of an undertaking.
Right.
I love the logo. I think it was so colorful and stuff. And Brody pointed this out during Cinecrap that it's one of the most colorful opens. And then you just get this drab movie.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack. You want to talk about the one thing that it's got on par with Guardians is how damn good the soundtrack is.
Right.
So that's something. But now with James Gunn coming in, is that going to change everything? Because I know one of the characters he wants to bring in, and we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But
it has potential. I've just been really sad about DC here recently. I mean, I've always
outside Wonder Woman,
yeah. And I have always been more of a Marvel fan, but I love DC. I've grown up with comics, and I think a lot of us 90s people have. That's what we came home and watched Batman, and that was our childhood. So I love DC too, but all of their stuff has really, really sucked. It's been
so
terrible,
dark, with the exception of Wonder Woman, and I still don't get to this moment.
I love dark stuff though.
Yeah, no,
but that's not the problem. It's just that they suck.
But it's like it's even drab. Like,
yes,
it comes across like that point where like you can have dark stuff and
yes,
it's great. but it just comes across as drab
Yes.
dark. Like it's like what?
Yeah, no, it just has no life to it.
Where
It's
Wonder
just-
Woman is the only one that I have seen so far,
Yeah.
and that'll probably change with Aquaman. But Wonder Woman is the only one that we've seen so far that actually had
Yeah.
life
Yes,
and has longevity.
right.
Because I'm gonna say it now. I mean,
It'll be watchable.
did we talk about Superman walking away yet?
I
No,
don't think
because we
so.
haven't done a show.
Yeah.
By the way, this is our first show since August.
Right.
Me
Yeah.
and you, anyway. But Henry Cavill, I don't know if it's 100% true
Which
or not.
I really enjoy him as an actor.
I don't enjoy him as Superman.
I enjoyed him in the very first. I thought that
Man of Steel.
Yeah, I felt that he was probably one of the better that we've had in current days.
Well, he's so much better than Brandon Roth.
Yeah,
or
like
Roth or what it is.
he's just but like in the more recent with him because we've kind of moved more towards a combination of cast. It's been terrible. It just has.
But that's again not on him.
No, it's not. And like I said, I really enjoy him as an actor. I kind of fell in love with him as an actor when I was watching Tudors. But like I don't blame him from stepping away. And they wanted to basically keep him on contract for years and years and years
Without doing any sort of
Yes.
Superman movie.
Yeah. And I mean, I have to say, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, that's basically like being like, well, you have to still work here, but we're not going to schedule you to come in to work for like 6 months or a year. Like, who would want to do that? That's insane. And his potentially would be very
Well,
long time. I
Yeah,
mean,
because
years.
they're not going to do anything with Superman movies until I think what they said was after. I think they said after the next. I don't remember if it was Suicide Squad or the Joker origin or Batgirl. Like there was so many movies
Yeah.
coming out for DC that you go, what?
I would step away too. I'd be done.
So that's happened. Then you get this situation where DC needs help.
Yeah.
DC, and there's a rumor that Ben Affleck's walked away. I don't know if that's true.
Which I hate him as Batman.
I like him as
But-
Bruce Wayne. I think he's a good Bruce Wayne. Like
Yeah,
you
I
can see
don't-
him as Bruce Wayne, but
Yeah.
I just don't think I am with you. I don't feel like he's a good Batman. Like,
And then
I don't
have-
hate him.
And I
but-
have such an issue with the continuity. I don't like them being like, well, we can replace them. It's not a big deal. I disagree with the whole anyone can be them. It's a James Bond situation. No, it's not. And you can't just stick someone else new in here in the midst of a reboot and pretend like no one's going to notice. This isn't a soap opera. You can't just recast someone who's blonde and pretend like it's then the exact same person it's been for the last 10 years because we
Truth.
have eyes.
yeah, no,
we
we see
know.
that shit. Yeah, no,
It is
I get
so
that.
weird. You can't pretend like there's the same chemistry between these actors that has been there or not been there because sometimes it's kind of questionable. Because, I mean, we can see this. We're aware of what's going on. And it's going to be just as awkward when people are trying to rewatch these movies 10, 15, 20 years later down the road. It's going to be just as uncomfortable then as it is now. It's not going to work.
Oh, completely agree. So there's this rumor, like I said, there's a rumor that he's leaving, which throws the entire Batman franchise out the window. But now, because of something that's happened with James Gunn coming on to DC and doing Suicide Squad 2, which I'm going to tell you, if he does one, he's going to do a lot more DC movies.
Yeah.
I could see him pinning almost every single DC movie.
Yeah.
Or at least the big ones.
I'm fine
Because,
with
I mean,
that.
Wonder Woman's got their writer. That they're done.
Yeah.
I figure Aquaman's going to be fine. I could see him doing Suicide Squad and Justice League.
I think he's proven himself, so I'm fine with it.
Because he'll bring a little bit of humor, too,
Right.
that DC needs.
Yes, because it has to be balanced. I like DC because it is dark, but I think that with dark, you have to have humor, whether it's just sarcasm or dark, gloomy humor. That's fine, but
You got to break up something.
It can't be just because I think that's part of the problem with Suicide Squad.
It should have been a lot better. Because there's
It's
Harley makes a couple of jokes in there where I'm like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
But she's it.
you have to have some balance in there.
Like, she's the only one that makes any sort of joke.
I mean, that's why I like Preacher, but I mean that's a little more irreverent
Yeah.
and maybe. I mean,
By the
anyway,
way, a certain person that hosts another show, to go along, also said that Preacher is the best comic book show in the history of
Mm-hmm. Oh my
television.
gosh,
So
it
now
is.
I guess I got to sit down and watch it.
But you again, you have to be like a certain person to I think be able to enjoy it. But you have to
No offense to the people who don't enjoy it.
Yeah, well, you have to be able to tolerate and look past, that there's some sacrilege and just appreciate it from what it is.
Oh, come
But,
on. Anybody
yeah,
who watches Supernatural could probably appreciate that then.
I don't know. This is a little
Even
little
deep-
more extreme, I think.
So to add to what's going on with James Gunn going to DC, Dave Bautista wants 100% out of his contract and has asked DC for a role in Suicide Squad 2, and there is a rumor that James Gunn is writing him a part.
Good for him.
And it's going to be Bane.
Good for him.
And it's going to be the wrestler version of Bane, which is also kind of ironic because Batista is a former wrestler. But
Yeah.
he's got the body for Bane.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be a lot better than, and I like Tom Hardy a lot. I do. I like him as Bane, but I don't like the voice. I don't like the Batman. Like I just
Yeah.
can't deal with that.
Yeah, it's just weird.
So that's a possibility. Now there's a possibility of Batista coming over, and now DC, and this is a huge rumor, and I've seen this in a couple of forums where news has been broke before. If Chris Pratt and Bradley Cooper walk away from Marvel, DC's going to make a power play. That's all I know. I believe in my heart that they're going to offer Superman to Bradley Cooper. Because he has the look.
Yeah.
And I believe in some aspects, too, that they may offer Batman to Pratt. Which would be...
Yeah.
But there is a rumor that they will join, but they will be a bigger part of the DC universe. So I'm like, if
I
this
think I would be
happens-
okay with that. I mean, I really like Chris Pratt.
I do too. And
I mean, I
think
wouldn't have thought of him for Batman, but
I see him more as a bad guy, but
I'm okay with it. I mean, he did a serious role in Jurassic Park, and I enjoyed that.
he's good.
Yeah.
I think he would bring that humor level to
Yeah.
Batman that is there.
Yeah.
Like, no matter
Oh,
what.
yeah.
Even the old ones, like
Yeah.
and then we're not counting the Adam West Batmans.
No.
You can't. Those are campy.
But
fun.
he's kind of got that sophisticated, sly humor.
Which would
you
be
know?
Val Kilmer's Batman if you
Yeah.
really want to get technical.
That
but-
elegant humor.
But yeah, no. So that's a possibility, and whether that's true or not, I don't know. It's out there though.
Boy, that would just be kind of a slap in the face, wouldn't it?
It would be a huge slap in the face.
Yeah.
And now the third part of this story, which is the most effed up part of this story. So you have James Gunn's tweets, which were horrible in nature, which were, how do I put the pedophilia jokes? Okay. So you have those. Fast forward. 2014, James Gunn posts a video on Instagram accusing Jared Leto of pedophilia. And he's not the only actor to do it. Dylan Sprouse also has done it. I think, is Dylan the one in Riverdale? Or is it Cole?
I think it might be Cole, but I'm not sure, honestly.
It's one. I think it's Dylan though that did it. So now there's this. There is talks that Jared Leto will walk away from the role of the Joker.
It's Cole Sprouse that's in Riverdale.
Okay, but Dylan's the one who did. Okay, but now there's talk of Jared Leto walking away from the Joker role because of James Gunn's accusations of stalking 17 and 18-year-old actresses.
Well,
And
I like Jared Leto's music.
So
I'm
this
not
is-
crazy about his Joker.
no, I'm not crazy about his Joker either. And this actually started with a 30 Seconds to Mars concert in Little Rock.
No.
This whole story starts
Welcome
with,
home.
yeah, with a story from Little Rock involving a girl who brought a friend who was underage, and Leto did a whole bunch of stuff with her that he shouldn't have, and we don't know if it's true. And it's just
How
what?
ironic.
Yeah.
Golly, it's a messed up situation.
Yeah, so now James Gunn comes in and he might direct the movie. Like David Ayer's talking about letting him direct it too now. So there's this possibility because Ayer's like, I could just go as executive producer. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Makes your life a hell of a lot
Yeah,
easier.
sure.
So now there's this talk of Leto leaving as Joker, which means they got to fill the role of Joker again.
I mean, Leto's not, it's not like he was like
Or you have Harley kill Joker and do that story.
Yeah.
Which would be a possibility, but then you lose Joker completely in your cinematic universe.
You don't like him.
I'd hate the Joker, but that's because I don't get anyone else. You never get another Batman villain. Like, I want the Riddler so damn bad I can't stand it.
Yeah.
But the Riddler is not going to hold, like, the Riddler is not as evil as any of the other Batman villains. I know
No,
this.
he's just kind of misguided. He's just kind of sad. You know?
Especially in the Gotham version.
Yeah, you just kind of want to pat him on the head and be like, I'm sorry, it's not working out for you.
However, he's kind of a badass in the Batman 66 show. I'm not going to lie to you. But that's kind of what's going on, where you go, what? There's so much to process. Gosh. Where if Jared Leto leaves, it's not a big loss to DC. I'm going to say it. I don't care for his Joker, but I've already seen pictures of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and I don't want that either. Why are we getting 2 origin movies possibility?
Joaquin Phoenix, I tell ya.
It looks bad. His Joker, he looks like the painting of the sad clown with the balloon? That's what he looks like.
I just don't know about him. Like,
he's a weird cat.
I want to be able to appreciate his art. I feel that that's what he sets out to do, is to create art. Like, I think he takes himself very seriously, and I try to appreciate what he does, and I just can't. I just really can't. He's kind of, to me, in the same realm as like Jim Carrey. Like, he's kind of done some really weird stuff here recently, but I can appreciate Jim Carrey.
No,
I can't appreciate.
Joaquin Phoenix is weird.
No.
So I mean, this is what's going on with DC right now. I think everything's about to change. I think getting James Gunn's going to turn the entire tide. Which, I mean, Marvel's winding down anyway. Like, we're getting to a point.
I think that it's had its run.
I've said this for a couple of years on this show, even, where I'm like, I'm tired of Marvel movies because there's so many.
I mean,
like,
because they're pulling up some less known people now, like some really less known people.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Ant-Man and Wasp is the last one I feel like you should, like, that one worked. But there's going to be, like, I want a Squirrel Girl movie so bad, but I know that's not a character that will do well at the theater.
Deadpool's still going strong, but it's so different.
But Deadpool's not part of the MCU.
No, it's not.
That's right. I mean, that's
right.
Yeah, so that's where we are. By the way, they're releasing, someone told, I don't know who told me this, but apparently they're releasing it was Brody. It was on the episode of Cinecrap. They're releasing a PG-13 version of Deadpool for Christmas that is a completely different movie.
My kids might enjoy that.
It is a completely different movie than what... Apparently, they filmed a second, like, a different Deadpool, like a whole different script and everything.
Kids
but with
may love that.
PG-13 version of Deadpool.
Yeah, that would be great for kids.
And if they start doing
That's so weird for me to be like, kids will love that. But there's so many, like, preteen
That's
kids,
a really interesting movie because
they're just like dying to see it, and they can't.
At least it wasn't nudity that was the real issue with that movie. Because I mean, it's just he drops the F-bomb a lot.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of violence,
and it really is a movie that was awesome. You know,
the second
to be appreciated, but.
So, did you see the huge? I think I texted it to you. Maybe. Did you see the huge news going on in the world of books?
I don't think you text me because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I think Barnes and Noble's up for sale.
Oh.
The entire franchise. They are looking to sell off, and I'm thinking, is this because they're going bankrupt?
You know, they're about one of the only remaining bookstores
brick and mortar bookstores.
Yeah, you know, because we used to have Books A Million, and we had.
Well, there's still Books A Million. They're just not around.
Yeah, but there's so few remaining. I think
there's still a ton. They're just not in this area anymore. Because the one apparently in our area just never did well, from what I've read. So
it did until we got a Barnes and Noble.
Well, and that makes sense.
Yeah, and that kind of shut it down.
There's still a Books A Million in my home area.
Gotcha.
Which is really crazy because I mean it's huge. It's bigger than the Barnes and Noble.
I don't much care unless there, except that there has to be like a coffee shop in them because you have to have book smell. You have to have a book. You have to have coffee smell with your books. It has to be.
The one in my home area still will take used books, so you have the new and used smell in there with the coffee, and it's kind of nice. I like that one. But Barnes and Noble has been a big name in book sales,
for a really long time.
but then there's this certain giant that came along, the little engine that could, I guess, that started with book sales and now just dominates everybody.
Yeah, Amazon. And I mean, there's not a day really doesn't go by that I'm not on Amazon looking for something, whether I buy
Yeah, I'm
something
shopping
or not.
for some stuff right now.
Yeah, that I'm not looking, and it might be something as simple as, looking for my kids' melatonin or buying scrubs for me or, actually buying books. I buy books from there.
Amazon has everything.
It really does. And, my husband's always complaining about, what did you order now? And it could be something absolutely ridiculously simple, groceries or, it's taken over everything and it's made things incredibly convenient for us, but it has caused a lot of damage to stores and to sellers too.
Right. It's kind of one of those, it's a double-edged sword
Yeah.
where it's like Walmart when they were
Yeah.
taking over the country and you go, oh, Walmart's doing great stuff in your head, but they're
But-
also killing the small business.
Yeah.
But small businesses thrive online now. So if you're a small business and you're not online, you're kind of damning yourself already. But Amazon, so there's a rumor, I'm going to give a lot of rumor, I guess, that Amazon's looking to buy it and turn them into Amazon brick and mortar bookstores?
I mean, I'm okay with that, I guess.
Because I don't feel like I don't feel like a bookstore will die.
I think that as long as you have avid readers, there will be a need for bookstores.
I think that, and just people like to go sit in those anyway. They're,
Yeah.
they're really relaxing. Like you can have I got my first PSL yesterday at a bookstore. By the way, and it was fucking fantastic.
I love having the option of having an e-reader. I used to have a Kindle for a really long time, again, Amazon product. And now I have a iPad. I was required when I went back to school, and it's probably the best thing I got out of going back to school.
But you have the Amazon
I
Kindle
have an
app.
Amazon
Yeah.
app on there because I probably have well over 1,000 books. And so the ease of being able to buy a digital book is excellent because here in our local town, we don't have a bookstore.
Which, by the way, you can get books in digital form at our store, Shop TBK.
This is true. It is absolutely true. And so, being able to just hook up to Wi-Fi or 3G or 4G or whatever, it used to be 3G. It was 3G when I first downloaded my Kindle
Well, I was going to
app.
say, it's like,
Or-
holy crap, Sharon.
Or the reason that came to mind, when I bought my first Kindle, you could buy one that was equipped with 3G for free. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, because I remember this. It was a little bit more, but you didn't have to have a service plan or anything.
I like the Kindle. I like what they've done with the
it's-
Kindle, the Fire, I guess.
Yes, my kids have Kindle Fires. They're great tablets for kids, but to be able to just hook up to your service and be able to download a book and have it on your tablet or your phone or wherever, literally within seconds, is outstanding. That's wonderful. You're traveling or whatever, to be able to carry like thousands of books on your device. That's pretty awesome. But it will never take the place of having a book. It will never take the place of having your books on a bookshelf.
Which is a great centerpiece for some
Yeah.
stuff. But also, there's some things that you don't get. I feel like you won't be able to meet authors anymore. And
you can have them sign your digital book. You just,
you could have them sign the digital form and be like,
would-
save.
yeah, it's not the same. Digital books will never look like having a nice, pretty leather bound classic
And that's-
on your bookcase. It just won't.
Barnes and Noble going downhill, though. It doesn't surprise me, but one of the things I think they have problems with, and I don't know, I know ours finally took it all out, is selling of movies. I'm going to say something that probably no one else will say, but I don't care. Barnes and Noble movies are ridiculously priced.
Yeah, they are.
Like, you can go to Walmart and get the same movie with the Blu-ray copy, the digital copy, and the DVD copy for like $20, depending
Yeah.
on the movie.
Maybe 25 at the most.
Yeah. You can go to Barnes and Noble and get that same movie,
like
just the
$39.
Blu-ray for $40. Yeah, it's like,
I'm
what?
not gonna buy that.
It's kind of ridiculous to me.
To them. It's not a smart business model. for them to have to buy that and have it set on their shelf for 6 months a year until
Or
they mark
longer.
it, until they mark it down to be like $4 in their clearance.
That's the I think that's one of the issues is they're still buying movies. Where I feel that if Barnes and Noble just went to toys and books, they'd be fine.
Now, I like to be able to go and buy my DVDs, and it makes me sad when I see that them getting rid of movies. Like,
But that's one store that kind of needs to.
and I'm fine with that because it is a bookstore, but I don't want all stores to get rid of movies. So
I just think it's gonna be that one. Honestly,
yeah,
I think
I'm fine with that.
I think we're still gonna have like Target still has a great selection of movies. Walmart still has a great selection
I
of
think
movies.
that bookstores would do better too to organize events, and we don't see that a whole lot around here.
You don't see that a lot anywhere though.
Yeah, and they should. They really should. And I think because I think I mentioned this before. Back when we had a Books a Million, one of the things that I look back and remember very fondly, even though I never participated and they got in my way. They got in my way so much and it used to annoy me. They used to do, on Saturdays, they would let like Pokemon players come in and they would let them sit around and
Kind of like what Hastings was doing when it went out of business.
Yeah, they would. All these little kids would come in and they would like do little battles and play and like seriously, they got in my way a lot
You know
because
what
I
makes-
was buying books.
Hold on.
But it was wonderful now
Hold
that I
on.
look back and think
I was
about
gonna
it.
say you can't complain of Pokemon players because I was with you last weekend and you had Pokemon Go up the entire
I
time.
was not getting in anyone's way, and I never played with cards. Literally, like this is the only thing I've ever done. But I look
Nerd.
back at that now and I think about how wonderful that was, like to have that opportunity for those kids someplace safe to go, someplace to gather, and there you don't really see a whole lot of that anymore. And that was a big pull for people. Even if you're getting their parents in there, you're getting siblings that don't participate, you're getting, whatever.
Board games is a huge thing right now, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's something they have some, but I feel like they need more.
Well, that's like our business in Jonesboro that does trivia night. I mean, you get people in there that's gonna eat and drink and to participate in trivia.
Yeah,
I just feel if you get businesses that arrange events,
you'll get more people. To come
Yeah.
in. Yeah. By the way, someone sent me an idea that we should for us to do as an event for us to put on, and I probably should tell you the idea. I'm not going to tell you on the show, but I told Ashley, and Ashley's like, "That could be super fun." So I'll tell
Yeah.
you that later. How about this? Toys R Us is coming back. Which is okay, so that's fine. That's great. But the business model they have in place is even worse than the one they just
Like-
got out of.
I'm annoyed with them.
Do you know what the business model
No.
is? Okay.
No,
so
but I'm already annoyed with them because
it's
they're-
Halloween. You can come back from the dead, It's that time of the year.
their whole pouty, no one's gonna help us, let's abuse everyone. Like, I just feel that was like a real jerk move.
So you know how close they... Okay, so when the internet was really starting to take off for sales,
Mm-hmm.
do you know Toys R Us could have partnered with Amazon?
See, they're just jerks.
And Amazon wanted them to be their official toy dealer.
See, they're just big jerks. And, again, going back to us being 90s babies, I think there's a lot of nostalgia with that name. And I think that...
That's it. That's
Yeah.
all it is now is a name.
And I think that they potentially could have just sold a lot on that,
But so here's what's going on with them now. So they're in court. This is what happens the day of. They're in court. They're getting ready to now, they have no business plan. They're out. And it's going to go up for auction. Well, apparently they came up with a business plan in the last minute to save the franchise. And I'm going to tell you now, it's the dumbest fucking plan in the world because no brick and mortar store is going to fucking do it.
So tell me about this plan.
They are going to call their new adventure Jeffrey's Toy Box.
Ew.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Sounds like a sex toy store, but that's another argument.
I don't like it.
But their idea is to be a toy section in a bigger store. Now,
What type of store? Like, are they hoping like Walmart will like...
because I know Walmart's not, because Walmart's a huge toy seller anyway. Target's not because they're a huge toy
And they've
seller.
already got a lot of other little places that they kind of
Yeah.
like brands that they host.
So the only stores I can think of that are possible, Sears won't because they're getting ready to go
No,
under.
Sears is already being.
Sears is going belly up.
I can't tell you how many articles I've read about how millennials is destroying Sears.
By
and
the way,
JCPenney.
millennials are now destroying American cheese. And
I read that, and really, truthfully, I don't care. I don't like American
no,
cheese.
no, that's
so
the thing.
it's
Like,
crap.
there's real cheese out there.
I know.
Why the
Give
fuck
me
would
cheddar
yeah.
any day.
Yeah.
So gross.
I'm more of a Colby Jack person.
I
but
like Colby Jack. It's fine.
I just
but
like cheese.
I like cheddar better, but Colby Jack is great. It's what's in my fridge right now.
cheddar better. All right, but so the only stores that I know of that are possibly going to work with this, and it could do it, Dillard's, because they don't have. They usually put in toys at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
They could do something like that, but their stores don't have the space. Kohl's, which they do have a toy section.
yeah.
And they're everywhere. That's the
Yeah.
only one. That's to me the most logical
Yeah.
thought.
Someplace like stupid, like Burlington's Coat Factory.
Macy's, TJ Maxx, like
Yeah.
those type of stores. Like that's about it. There is no, and you.
I hate TJ Maxx.
I do
It's
too.
like shopping in a thrift store.
By the way, there's it's called Ross. It's a dress
Yeah,
for less
yeah.
store. So much better than a T. Like we went in there. We went in the one in Poplar Bluff and came out with $80 worth of clothing and got like 15 articles. Like, and it was all quality
It's
stuff.
like the opposite. Like Jesse always complains that he never found anything affordable at regular stores where I can. It's like the opposite of TJ Maxx. Like there's like no.
I can't
clothes
find.
for-
Yeah, no, I can't find anything affordable at a TJ
I
Maxx.
got super excited one time. I found this gorgeous jumper, and it's apparently made for like 12-year-olds.
I don't even want to ask.
Ugh,
Did
hate
it,
it.
was it short pants on you?
Yes.
But yeah, so there's not many stores like Macy's is maybe, but there's not many stores that would even consider. I guess Barnes and Noble could do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't shop in Dillard's very often.
okay, so you want to talk about a store I feel uncomfortable in? It's Dillard's.
Yeah, like it's kind of like our Belk around here.
Oh
like,
God.
I've
Speaking of
struggled
which.
in Dillard's to know exactly where I should be shopping.
Yeah, because there's an upstairs clothing section and
Yeah.
a downstairs clothing
And it's
section.
another place where there's like, I don't know if I need to be shopping in like, there's like clothes that feel like it's an old lady section, and then I'm not sure is there a young adult? Like I don't want juniors. Is there like a young
No, it just
women's
goes straight
section?
from like 15 to 80.
80? Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm not sure where I should be buying clothes. Sometimes I buy Zeke marked down clearance stuff to wear to like band concerts. That's been working pretty well for me. So, you know.
But Dillard's is a weird store.
It is. I'm not
Their
crazy
Christmas
about
stuff
it.
is awesome.
Yeah.
I will say, but there's not many places that they could go, hey, let's put this in. Because, I mean, you're not going to go into a Bath and Body Works and there's a freaking
No.
toy store in there.
No,
Like,
it's super
not,
weird.
There's not many stores that sell stuff. Like, Best Buy is not going to do it.
No.
I mean, that could be a logical one because toys and electronics kind of
No.
go together.
And I'm
But
feeling like Best Buy's kind of,
they're going downhill.
they're
too.
kind of floating around, and yeah, because they can't sell CDs anymore. No one wants a CD.
No one should.
Yeah,
no
my
one
car
buys-
doesn't even have a. Jesse argued with me for like 3 days
I
straight.
remember this,
Yeah, and I was
yeah.
like, my car does not have a CD player, and he
Neither
just would
does
not
Ashley's.
believe me.
Neither does
Yeah,
Ashley's.
he just flat out would not believe me, and it doesn't. They don't have a whole lot of selection for DVDs anymore, and I feel like if you're going to have a place that has a selection of DVDs, it should probably be a place like Best Buy, but they actually don't. Like, and they're super expensive there.
Yeah. No, they're well, I mean you can get box sets cheaper at Best Buy than you can.
Yeah, but
most
if you want to
places.
go get a movie, sometimes even movies that have been out for years,
are still at full price.
or
yeah.
you can get them for like $3. Like, there's not a lot of in between.
No, there's all these stores that are just like floating. And
Yeah.
and I mean honestly, if you look at our mall that we have in Jonesboro,
Yeah.
it's shitty.
It is, because you have a lot of places like that. You
We
got,
went to that mall in Kansas City and after that we're all like, fuck our mall.
I know, and I was complaining to Jesse about how I want a new battery put into my iPhone, but we don't have an Apple store around here. You know, you got to go.
my fucking bubble tea place?
I know. I really want a good bubble tea.
Which, by the way, we had on our trip to Kansas City last time. We actually went to that mall and got bubble tea before Taylor Swift.
You went over there to get it. Yeah, and see, when we were in St. Louis last time, we were at the Galleria. They have an
love the Galleria.
They have an Apple store in there. I should have got my battery changed while I was there. And
Yeah, because it takes like an hour.
yeah, and I mean they've got it's a huge place with a wonderful selection of stuff and bubble tea.
It's funny, we don't have an Apple, like the closest Apple store is like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And even I'm going, why? Why is this a thing? Because Apple, like, people have Apple products in rural areas. Put one up in the smaller, like, bigger towns. Thinking
it's really stupid. Like, if you look up Apple store locations, there's actually not a whole lot, and it's really stupid.
But Apple's also one of those products too that I feel like you kind of have to go out of your way to have because they're that important. But now.
if you look at, which I feel it's getting harder to get Apple phones. Like,
I don't. Okay, so the newest Apple,
I would like to get a new phone, but I don't think there's a lot of great options out there right now. So I'm going to continue with my phone. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to. This is probably. Wow, we have gone from bands. To nerd news to now talking technology. Okay. This never happens.
Like the iPhones that are out right now, they all have
the 10s, the 10s Max, those.
Are we on 10s now? I don't think we're on 10s.
We're on 10.
That are actually like available out right now to purchase. Yeah. Okay. Well, they all have glass backs. I don't want the glass back.
The new
That's
one.
so stupid.
The new one that just got released, the 10X Max or 10XS. Does, but it's also more durable than any other iPhone.
Glass back. That's stupid.
That's what they're going to be from now on.
I know, and I don't want that.
So
it's ridiculous.
Plus, I've been debating. Like, I don't know if I want to stick with Apple because I'm pissed off about the way they treat batteries. Mm-hmm. Like that makes me mad.
It is stupid. Plus, I'm also irritated with my phone company since they do the stupid Next program, and it makes phones so much more expensive.
It does and it doesn't.
It does.
Well, when you're on Cricket, and because that's what I was on for a long time.
I don't want to switch to Cricket, though.
No, that's what I'm telling you. When I was on Cricket, you had to buy your phone outright. Mm-hmm. Having a payment plan to have a nice phone is so nice. Yeah,
but when you have like four people,
it's not.
And it makes your cell phone bill like $300 a month.
Yeah, because ours is 2, and I feel like that's a lot for 2 people.
Because you have to not only pay for your phone, you also have to pay for your plan. Then you have to pay $40 just to be able to use your plan.
I think that's off now.
No.
Really? We don't have that on ours.
Yeah, you have to use. It's $40 to use a data plan to have data.
Oh, ours isn't that much. Ours is like 12.
If you go and look at the plans, just to add a phone to a family plan.
Oh, like another phone? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah.
Well, we got one of our tablets is on our plan, but actually my iPad is on our plan, but it's like $5.
That's only, tablets aren't a big deal, but for phones it is.
It's weird to me. Like I like the way AT&T's starting to structure, and I know it's a work in progress. Like this is not one of those things. Like AT&T and Verizon are both doing a Next program, but when phones are $1,200, you're like, when you can go out and buy. By the way, my computer, $1,000. This computer right here, it's got 16 gig of RAM. It's got 2 terabyte hard drive. That's $1,000.
Yeah.
But when your cell phone costs more than that computer...
But when you consider that it's going to be outdated basically in a year...
Yeah.
That's pretty stupid that you're having to buy a $1,000 phone
It's one reason
every
I'm
year.
considering going back to Samsung. Because they always release every 2.
But I've had this phone... Well, I say this phone, but I've had an Apple product for the last 11 years.
Yeah, see, so like I've mostly Apple for the last like 6. And I love Apple... But I also know that...
So I have all of this purchase music.
Oh, you can... iTunes is now also on... The iStore can now be put on Android products.
Oh, okay.
Apple released that. That's one reason why I went, now I'm kind of tempted.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's on Windows, so they might as well go ahead and do it.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's really, truly the big thing that's keeping me here. Because, I mean, 11 years worth of purchase movies. As long as you have your email and your password and you sign into it, you should have all of that on an Android, which is crazy to me to think about now because I know 5 years ago that was never going to be an option. And I mean, I'm not about to lose all the stuff that I've purchased over the last decade. I mean,
this is why I have Apple Music.
Yeah,
because $14 a month for music, as much as I listen to music, because my playlist is like 4,000 songs deep.
It's not worth it to me though, because I only drive like 5 minutes.
Hey,
from
speaking
here
of which, I could put you guys on our AT&T music plan. We have 6 spots.
Huh,
We are only using 2.
that sounds nice.
We'll discuss that after a show.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, if you guys want, because I know Jesse's having some issues with Spotify right now. If you guys want, you can just put
Yeah.
Apple Music on your... And you can download your
Yeah.
playlist everywhere. That's something
And
I
Jess-
love.
And Jesse and I share some iTunes accounts, so it probably would just be one spot.
It might have to be 2. But-
Maybe.
But I'll see. I'll let you know. Because, I mean, like, it's $12 a month for us. And I'm like, if I'm doing this and we have these spots open, I might as well let somebody have them.
$12 a month for 6 spots is not bad at all.
No, for free ad music, for no
Yeah.
ads. Like, you get everything that's in the Apple library through Apple Music.
Yeah,
I mean-
that's really good.
Because, I mean, I've got, speaking of which, Real Big Fish released a new song. I love having that. That's like
Yeah.
one of the perks that I have right now on
Right.
that phone. Because I was like, that's something I want. Because I had Spotify, which, by the way, I hate Spotify. I went from Spotify, which was this awesome program that when I first signed up for it, to now just being this steaming pile of shit.
Right.
Because I can't stand ads. I'm not the biggest ad
Yeah,
person,
no.
and they're doing way too many ads now
Ugh, that's like when I try to watch like regular TV now. I get so angry.
because of commercials. Like
Yes.
some of the commercials are really good, though.
Ugh, no. I'd rather
Sharon
just
does-
not watch it.
Sharon hates commercials, apparently.
I do. Like I didn't realize how much I did until like I go back to watch something after watching streaming.
Well, and that changes
I
everything.
just so
Because it's like,
impatient. I can't tell you the last time I watched something on regular TV. I don't know.
Doctor Who.
No.
That was it. No, that was ours. That was Doctor Who and Live PD is the only thing now I will watch online. We are paying $10 a month to watch Doctor Who and Live PD in real time.
Yeah, I know I have extended basic cable, but it's basically just so Jessica can watch football. So no, I don't have the extended basic anymore. We just went to basic. That's all.
Have you looked at your phone recently?
I just got it, but I didn't open it.
I think you should open that
Okay.
because I think it's worth a discussion.
Oh, it is.
It is Treat Yourself Day. I did not realize that.
It's on my calendar, and I forgot.
Oh my god, we just got a text message from the other half of the winos.
I mean, I knew it because it's on my calendar, but I forgot.
That's ironic.
See, look,
Treat Yourself Day. By the way, it's kind
right
of
beside Capital One payment.
I just made mine. And yours is due around the same time mine is. Yeah, I completely. Wow. Eh.
It is. It's.
I
treat
did that
yourself.
yesterday. I did that yesterday. Remind me after the episode. I can't talk about this on air, but remind me after the episode to discuss something with you that also partakes to the website.
So, people out there,
Yeah, I know.
October
There's a-
13th. This you won't be listening to this on October 13th, but you should mark it down on your calendar and treat yourself.
Celebrate
next
it
year.
on Sunday. Celebrate after you're listening. Just take a day late and just do it on a Monday. Take the day off from work.
Yeah.
F it. So there's some things coming up that I've got to see if we can steal you guys to going into.
Okay.
One of those is Scott Bradley and the Postmodern Jukebox because they just released.
I just got to see if we can make it down there in time because you know where.
Concert starts at 8.
Okay. I thought you said 7.
No, I was wrong.
Okay. Well, we can probably make it down there in time. I should tell Jesse then.
Because, I mean, if you can, like, sneak out of work 30 minutes early, I think we're good.
I just had to try. You know, I'm not a senior nurse.
No, I
so,
know.
You know.
But there's a reason. They just released their cover of Africa this week, and I got super excited.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to happen. And by the way, I feel like that might be part of your guys' Christmas from us.
Okay.
So, because I really want to buy those tickets soon.
Okay.
And they're super cheap.
Okay.
And it's the floor of the Orpheum this time.
Text Jesse.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be on the floor. We're going to be on the floor of the Orpheum this time. And you know how much tickets are for that? 35.
We'll have to make sure that that's not nationals.
It's not. I already looked that up. Remember, I sent you the dates. Nationals is the week before. I'm already ahead of you.
Okay. Because I know one's like the.
They're both the same weekend. The one in Indianapolis and the one in New York is the same weekend.
Well, the one that I saw was like, I don't know. Indianapolis is like 2 weekends.
No, it's the weekend before and then the weekend after.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've already got that It's the weekend before. Like, no, it's not the same weekend. I already looked that up because
Okay.
I was like, I was going to make sure before I did anything. Yeah, no, I'm on top of things,
Okay. Okay.
which is weird that I'm that ahead of things right now. It happens. It happens. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Like, was there something else? Because I feel like there. Oh. Did politics one time on the show. Do it again. This is it.
Okay.
I got so mad this week at someone I went to high school with that I threw my damn phone across the apartment. It may not have been my phone. It might have been a fork. I don't know. It might have been it might have been a potato. There's a random fork on my desk, so it might have been the fork. I'm not making this up. I don't understand why, but it's here.
Sometimes there will be like utensils on my nightstand, so I can't judge.
So I'm probably sleep eating again.
Most of the time, it's because I put the plate down on the floor for the dogs to clean
And then
to
it just
eat,
went, yeah.
you know, and then I forget that I left the spoon.
So I'm fine with people posting their political views. I'm okay with that. They're
Right, because if you're allowed to,
yeah,
there
well,
too.
and two, I feel if you're gonna post, at least have your argument ready and make sure that you can argue for your side. Make sure you have your idea. Like, make sure you can argue for what you believe in. Because if you can't and you're just blindly posting, and that's where my anger comes from. Look, if you're gonna blindly post something. We live in a modern day age where you can look up if it's real or not.
right.
Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of places out there that are just opinion websites, and that's a big thing now. But if you can look it up and know if it's real, you've got some and you're still saying it's a real thing. Like, if you're saying something's fake is real, you got some issues.
You know, it's kind of like what I tell my child. You're allowed to have whatever opinion you want. You
Yeah.
just got to be better informed about it.
Yeah, no,
You got to back it up.
Yeah, no, if you can back up your opinion, like, that's the thing with debate. Like, I love
Yeah.
the fact, and I just had this awesome conversation with someone the other day. And it involved the same post because we actually started someone else posted it and was like, I agree with what the message they're sending is. I disagree with how they provided it. It's a video that is very propaganda video where it's like, hey, the left side pretty much is all violent. And I went, okay, I get where they're going, because it's just like, you can pull snippets from things and like, oh, if I had the opportunity, I'd take him behind a high school. Joe Biden said that about Trump. Whatever. Okay, so that's one thing. But I'm like, if you're going to post this, you got to post the flip side of this too.
Yeah.
Because I am one of those people who believes in what Fox News used to stand for fair and balanced. Like, I want both sides. Like,
Right.
if you're going to report something, give me both fucking sides.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know. I can never believe when someone posts a video like this. Because my one argument is Heather Heyer. Like, done. If you don't know who that is, Google. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. She was run down in Charlottesville, I'll go ahead and tell you. She
Yeah.
was the one protester that got ran down in an alley
Yeah.
because some idiot drove their car that was on the wrong side. That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
They weren't even blocking the street when that happened too. Okay, so that's my argument. Where you go, if you're going to post there's violence on only one side, you have to know there's violence on the other.
Right.
That's bullshit. I can tell you anything right now, Sharon, and someone out there will be like, he's right.
Right.
And this is what I wrote, because there's a perfect retro video for how I feel about America right now. I can't believe I'm getting into this. Whatever. If I'm making you uncomfortable,
No, you're fine.
I said in my article that three out of every 10 people will believe something they read online. Everything they read online.
I don't doubt this at all.
I made up that stat.
I don't doubt that.
So I know someone out there is going to
Will quote
read
that.
that. Yeah, and that's all they're going to take away
I
from that
actually
article.
believe it's probably higher than that.
Yeah, well, I mean, someone out there is going to use that in an argument because
Yeah.
I don't say it's fake for like 3 sentences. I do in the tag because I'm like, ha ha ha. But if people
Yeah.
just click on the article going, oh my God, that's crazy. This website says it's this, where like 2 sentences later, it's like,
Can
huh?
I tell you something that's worse than that?
What?
Okay. So there's this medical satire site called gomerblog.com.
I know about the website. Yeah.
And there was this article about how there was a nursing student that had gone missing, and they were like investigating it and blah blah blah, and they found the woman's DNA present in an older nurse's stool. So what they say about nurses eating their young was true.
Oh my God.
And I worked with a woman who did not realize that it was a satire site, and she believed it. And she was telling me about it, and I was like, I really don't think that happened. This was before I even knew about the website, and I was like, I just don't feel that that's real. I was like, I just don't.
I think
believe
I
it.
think you told me this
Yeah.
story one time.
And so I looked it up and everything, and I showed her it was not true. And I told her about the website, and then she fell for it again in a different story.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if
Right.
you're gonna continue to do it, then you're
So
just
I mean,
dumb.
yours wasn't even anything that was insane, but this was like ridiculous
No, I get
stuff.
that. Well, it's like, okay, so I'm attacking Alex Jones as the dude who does InfoWars by saying, oh, they put something in the water to turn frogs gay.
Yeah.
And people out there believe that?
Yeah.
You're the type of people who wear tinfoil on their head to make sure they're not
Right.
anally probed by a damn alien.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
Right.
It's so dumb. It's satire. And you know, like, in your head, you're like, this can't be
Right.
real. This possibly cannot be real. And you listen to it and you're like, I quit.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, people.
Or like you hear about like the dangerous chemicals and blah blah blah, and then you find out they're just talking about water or air, or and you're just like,
So I've gotten into
Okay.
Penn and Teller bullshit. There's a reason I think I'm getting a little political lately. It's because I'm watching this show and going, I kind of agree with this. I'll tell you an episode I ended up watching, though, that has fucked my head up. But I agree with most of what they're saying. Like, I just watched an episode on the Boy Scouts and how they were bullshit. Because they changed their, the Mormon church is behind the Boy Scouts. It was behind the Boy Scouts. I don't know if they still are. But they were behind the Boy Scouts from the early 80s. That's why members of the LGBTQ community could not be part of the Boy Scouts anymore. Because I'm like, what the hell? But yeah. But there was an entire episode on circumcision. It is the weirdest damn thing I've ever watched in my life, and I was trying to eat a hot dog in the middle of it. That was the worst fucking idea, because I didn't know what was, when you're
Yeah.
streaming, you don't know what the next episode is. And especially on Hulu, because I can never tell what's next
that's a
anymore.
complicated matter, and people don't realize it.
Yeah, and that was the whole episode, because
Yeah.
it's like, I was confused more
Yeah.
about everything.
And people just kind of go along with circumcision because, well, that's just how it's always been, or
Well, I think what they were saying was, and now we've gone from we've gone
Yeah.
to circumcision. Well, the idea is like the reason Americans have their babies circumcised is because it's aesthetically pleasing.
basically it's what it boils down to, truthfully.
Yeah, and that's what they said.
There's a small percentage of benefit from it. It decreases risk of STDs a smidge, and it does decrease risk of complications from urogynecologic complications, just a smidge, like a real small ratio.
Yeah.
But basically, it does boil down to it just looks
This is
better.
better. Yeah, no.
yeah.
'Cause
And that's a personal opinion. Like, there's going to be plenty of places in the world that completely disagree.
Well, here I'm going to say this now. I hate the looks of an uncut penis. I'll just say that because to me it looks like the alien coming out of the belly. And if this is not the weirdest episode of this show we've ever done, I don't know what is. But I saw that episode and I'm going, well, my life's fucked over now.
And there's a lot of people who feel very strongly that we're mutilating children.
That was one of the arguments in the episode.
And the horror that we feel when we listen to other countries, other cultures that mutilate girls and do female
They
circumcision.
talked about that as well.
We read that and we're absolutely horrified.
Which I didn't know was a thing until
It
I
is-
watched that episode.
And it is absolutely horrific. It's absolutely inhumane. But then you think about what we do to boys, then you have to be like, well,
Because they actually showed a circumcision happening.
and I've assisted during them.
And they're awkward.
And I don't know. I mean, I didn't ever have to assist with them until after I had children and after I had made a decision on what to for my own boys. But I'm glad that I probably didn't have to, because that might have changed, what we decided. But
it's awkward.
The
device. Okay, so what they did.
Well, there's two different ways to do them.
Yeah, one of the devices was like this whole strap down thing. It's like a baby like in a cross kind of situation.
There's a papoose board.
Did you just say papoose?
That's what they're called. They're papoose boards, and that's what you secure the baby down with.
Is that the first time papoose has ever been used on a show?
I don't know.
That's
just what they're called, papoose boards. That's the official term. And there's two different devices that are used. One's called a Glomco bell, and then the other one's called a Plasti bell. Mm-hmm. And there's,
it's a weird, that's something I got, I watched that episode going, what the hell?
As a medical provider and a mom, I definitely have one way that I prefer more than the other. I just feel it's a little bit more, less likely to have complications, less.
Yeah, no, I get where you're going.
Less,
I'm not going to tell anybody what to do on that one because that really is it is one of those that could go either way and it's fine. It's not it's not like vaccinations where you should get your kids vaccinated. Yeah. It's completely different.
But I do think that maybe a person should consider maybe you should consider the argument. And maybe you should think about what other cultures do. And maybe you should think about how other cultures view it. And I think that's about everything. I think you should consider that when it comes to religion. You should consider that when it comes to foods. You should consider that when it comes to everything. In politics too, you should always consider another person's opinions, views, circumstances, religious, everything.
Would you like to know what I can? Okay, so I got into this conversation. And go back to that for a second. So the reason I'm going with the bullshit argument, the show, not the actual bullshit, was because I realized something in the middle of all these episodes, and I go, it's a very interesting concept. Sharon, how do you walk? I want a play-by-play of how you walk.
I don't know.
Which foot do you move first?
Right.
And then the left?
Yeah.
Same principle should apply to politics. If they both work together, you'll be able to walk in a straight line. Mm-hmm. Done.
Yeah.
I'll be running for office in 2024.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. And I have to, because I'm starting this article that I've started, Inappropriate Behavior, where I just complain about things that bother me.
That's kind of what I'm doing today. That's what we're doing on this episode. Yeah.
And I always have to point out that I understand that my opinion is going to be different, and I'm always going to be one of the first people to play devil's advocate. I always understand that you should consider all sides.
Yeah.
It is very important to me to do that, and there are always going to be circumstances where my opinion in this matter is not valid. Because there are going to be things that happen that is going to change that opinion. There are going to be situations where this particular opinion doesn't apply to it. It just doesn't. So, where I'm saying this certain thing about this matter now, it may be different in something that happens tomorrow. Not as an overall, but there's certain things that have to be considered in every situation.
I agree completely. And I feel that's something that we have lost sight of now. And it's just automatically going to, well, if you don't agree with me, you're a dick.
Yeah.
It goes straight to name calling or I'm going to kick your ass.
Which is sad because I think it's a mark of intelligence to be able to consider these things and to be able to view things from others'
Have we ever made people think on this show?
I think we have, and then people complain at us for it.
The last time I did an episode, we haven't done anything like this in a long, long time. This is episode 12 kind of thing where I'm you guys need to sit down and think about
We'll probably get some hate mail being like,
I don't care.
You guys are supposed to be funny.
Well, we're still trying to make it funny. Look, we discussed Barnes and Noble, but when you get to that James Gunn story, and then it's well, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
It's been a weird week around here with news, and I'm
well, and a person should always be able to find humor in the situation because there is a lot of humor in the situation. When people are being stupid.
So back to the circumcision thing. Did you know that a guy can bring back his foreskin?
I guess I would think it depends on how much scar tissue is left.
No. This old dude. This is worth watching the episode alone. It's on Hulu. Look up Penn and Teller bullshit circumcision. But this old guy decided to hang weights from his penis
No.
to bring the skin
No,
back
no.
over the head, and it worked.
No, I'm out.
And then the biggest complaint he has, and I can't wait to use this word on this show because I've been dying to use this word somewhere in life, and I haven't had a chance to do it on a show yet. He complained about the schmegma, and I...
Yeah. Remember how I said there are some gynecologic benefits?
Yeah, schmegma. Not
Yeah,
having schmegma is
that's-
one of those.
Yeah, you
That
know.
is the absolute worst fucking smell in the world. It is right up there, though. If it's not the worst, it's right up there.
It's one of those
Like the
small
ears,
benefits that you get. You
like
know?
Gage Deers gets that too, and it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh. There's a we talked about.
It's been a complicated episode.
All right, this
Remember
is-
how it was unplanned? This
You know,
is what happened.
The last time we did this was when you decided to talk about you had like thousands of books.
Yeah, that's Sweet Valley High.
Yeah, the Sweet Valley High books.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, when's the next one of those coming?
I don't know. Remember, I started it, but then I went to get my car decided to be really stupid, and the lock on my driver's side didn't work. And
I
didn't-
forgot about that.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it wasn't working until my child decided to like go open the door, and I was like, "Kid, you can't get in there because it's locked." And he opened the door, and my alarm just starts going off in like a panic.
Unless he broke it at that exact moment.
Yeah. And so anyway, I went to get my car fixed because they're like, it'll just take like an hour and a half most. I'm like, okay, cool. So I take my
I remember
iPad.
this day.
Yeah, I take my iPad and I go and I'm just like, I'm going to read this book.
Because the
I'm gonna
idea
make
was to
notes.
record after
Yeah.
that.
I even brought my notebook, you know, and I'm reading and taking notes. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. It's talking about like some mystery guy in red leather pants, actually. And the guy comes out there and he was like, ma'am, do you have someone that can pick you up or I can take you home? And I was like, what? He was like, ma'am, you may want to go home because this is going to take a while. I was like, he only said it would take like an hour and a half, and I'm completely okay reading. He was like, no, this is going to take like 4 hours. I'm like, excuse me? He was like, it's going to be a little bit longer than we expected. I was like, that's a lot longer. I'd have my mom come
Yeah,
get
you
me.
got home at and I talked to you right after you got home, and you were pissed.
Yeah, like I dropped off my car at 7:30 that morning, and it wasn't done until like 12:30, and I had to be ready. Like I had to be at work at 1.
And you were like, "I'm so sorry." Like you called, like
Yeah.
you apologized to me like 20 times.
Yeah, I
And
was
I'm
like super annoyed.
I got up early for nothing. That was the only thing that made me
So I haven't gone back to reading it since
that moment.
then. Yeah.
This is a very weird episode, and I'm cool with it. Because
Yeah,
every so often,
know.
you got to get shit off your chest. That's what this episode is that let's just release all of the frustrations because people are pissing me off.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculously pissing me off right now. I just...
I think it's the lack of intelligence.
Well, okay, so the person who posts this, and I'm not going to say name, but the person who posted the propaganda video was someone I really respected in high school because they were, they were in the top of our class.
I really hate when that type of thing happens. It just makes you kind of lose the little faith in humanity there.
Yeah, I come from a small town that is very
Conservative.
yeah, I know that. I know that my view is out of the box. Like, honestly, I'll listen to every point and then I'll make what's best for me. Like, that's the decision I will make. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to listen to everyone's point of view, but I'm still going to make my own decision.
I feel that this is a really weird time right now. Like, I feel like I'm actively watching things and seeing things that I'm like, I feel like this is a perfect example of like learning about yellow journalism and this is what's happening, or I'll hear something that's a current event and I'm like, this is one day going to be in history books. And it's just a very weird feeling to like know that it's a monumental thing happening and one day like great grandchildren are going to learn about it. It's just really weird.
I completely agree. And it's... Oh, let me get one other thing. I can't believe. All right. So this is that episode, right? This is the episode where we're just like, whatever we want off our chest today. Sorry, everybody. You're angry too at times. You get shit off your chest to friends. That's what we're doing today. You guys are our friends.
You guys are just...
Yeah, you get to hear it.
You just get to listen.
Men do fucking better. That's my
Yeah.
best answer to that. Like, seriously, how hard is it not to be a fucking prick to women?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've been seeing that a lot lately. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew it was bad until I started reading friends' stories of what they do when they leave work by themselves. And I'm like, fucking do better. Like,
I should not have to carry pepper spray in my pocket at work. At work.
like, I mean, yeah.
I have been pushed against the wall, cornered to where I can't get out. And this has happened at work.
So this is my statement to everybody. What if, and I know every male out there has either had a daughter or they have a mom because everyone came out of a vagina. So when I say this, I want every man who's ever had issues.
And don't argue that you were born by C-section. You get the idea.
Yeah, no, you were in a
Don't
woman.
be stupid.
No, you were born by a woman. So done.
I just felt we should cover that
No,
before
no.
someone decided to be
Yeah.
stupid.
So here's my thought. What would you do if someone did that to your daughter or your mother?
Yeah.
And let that sink in. That's what's happening to the world. Like, I didn't know, like, I knew it was bad. Like, you just know things are bad, but you don't really discuss that they're bad.
And okay, here's the thing that's bothering me, and this is coming from people that I know that are women. I don't understand why they think there's a time limit. That if you were abused, assaulted, whatever, and it happened 5 years ago, 20 years ago, that it makes it less valid. If they
that's
were,
that's the argument going on.
yeah,
Right now,
if they were in a situation where they felt that they were in danger, or if they felt that this was a situation that they never realized this person would ever be in a position where they may potentially cause harm to others, and now it's come to light and they feel that they have an obligation to say something to protect others, it does not make the whatever happened how many ever years ago less terrible. It doesn't take away from that. It still happened.
No.
And I don't understand why people think that that person should just shut up and act like it didn't happen. I don't understand that. I mean, if you murdered someone 20 years ago,
You're still going to prison.
You still murdered them.
And you may get the death penalty still.
You still ruined someone's life if you assaulted them.
I agree.
I
agree completely.
I don't get it.
And I do like the fact that it's being brought to attention with a lot of different things. Not just, and I'm not talking about celebrities.
no.
Like, it's still scary for anybody to come forward.
And I'm not either, because it's just, those are the things that
That's-
have got people talking.
That's the public eye. Okay, so there's
Right.
now granted, and I get where people are.
And
like,
I don't know if anyone else has been reading, but I think it's really interesting that what's going on in America is actually affecting other countries. There's a Me Too movement going on in China right now.
Holy balls.
I was reading about it.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and it's giving these women more empowerment. They're actually getting to see some support from other women to help empower them. So, I know some people are getting a little tired of what's going on here, and that's kind of frustrating to say. I'm tired of hearing about people that are being abused. Like, that's really inhumane to even utter that. That would be like, I'm tired about hearing people who have cancer. Well, okay, how about we do something about that and fix it and work together? But that movement that we're having here right now of bringing to light terrible, horrible, awful things is actually affecting people in other countries and giving them the voice that they didn't feel that they ever had.
I agree completely. And also, let me point something else. Terry Crews also came forward. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Let's not sell everyone short.
Yeah.
Bad things has happened to everybody.
Right.
And look, I figure there's a few that we know that something has happened and they're never going to come forward.
Yeah.
And I know that. But they have to live with that pain for their entire life. For someone to discredit that, fuck you. And I'm not saying this to be like what side of politics I'm on.
No, it
'Cause
doesn't
honestly,
matter.
I'm in the middle. I don't give a shit. But for somebody just to discredit anybody who's gone through this because there's no proof, fuck off.
It's about being a human being, about being decent to the people around us.
And I got the other argument there is, hey, there's no like the court of public opinion. And I know that the worst court is not the one you will have a trial in.
No.
The worst court is public opinion. And that is why people are having a lot of the issues right now. But I'll tell you what, some of the, like, I would almost say, and I'm not going to do some sort of statistic because someone out there will quote me and be like, well, they said this.
Yeah.
Just get back to what I was saying. But yeah, no, I feel there's a lot out there that will never be discussed that probably should be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't get it when people are talking about how they're getting tired about this. Well, you know what? I am too. I'm getting tired of it happening. It's not about the fact that we are talking about it. It's just, it shouldn't happen. I don't understand why we can't be decent people to each other. It shouldn't be that hard.
Stop running off female celebrities off like because you disagree with their character. Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
Kelly Marie Tran didn't deserve it. I'm surprised. Like, I'm really happy with the way Doctor Who premiered.
Yeah.
Because that's something I was worried about, and I'll flat out admit it. Because I've seen what's happened with the Star Wars community, and I go, is this going to happen with the Doctor Who community? And that did scare me.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's not hard to be a better person. Like,
No.
shit. Oh, that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you listening are not bad people. Like, I know that. We're not arguing. You get to a point, though, you're just sick of things. And I'm at that point.
It's just a comment on general society.
Yeah.
It's not a...
No, we love you guys.
Yeah, y'all are nice.
I figure,
Mostly until you guys ask me stupid, weird questions.
speaking of which, that'll come back in a couple of weeks. We got some stuff. We got some cool stuff planned. I feel like we've never really discussed any of this. And here we are. You know, someone's going to comment on this and be like, you guys should do a serious show. And I'm going to be like, well, fuck. That's what I need.
They
Another
will be
fucking
in a bad
show.
mood all the time.
Well, this has actually made me feel better because
Yeah.
I've been holding a lot of stuff in recently where I'm like, I got one other one, and this is just me personally. I don't feel we have any rights to tell anyone what to do with their body.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's
No.
just my personal opinion.
No.
Like-
no, and you know, before I became a nurse, I think I had stronger opinions on certain things. And then
You were. I have a feeling I know where that is, and
yeah,
yeah.
I grew up in a very conservative home. But
so did I. Actually,
but when you actually get to see firsthand, personally, certain circumstances, you learn that there's a lot of gray area, and it's very difficult. And I feel that a lot of times that I actually go through things with patients because you get to see them time after time after time. And you get to hold their hands and participate in some of the grieving process. No one gets to judge someone in these positions. No one. And if you think you do, you are a horrific person because you have zero idea of the pain that these people are going through. And that's just that. And just, it's,
there's
Yeah.
no, just we have no right to tell anybody what to do with their body. It's what, because I mean, honestly, if that was the case, then tattoos probably would be illegal.
Mhm.
Or piercings that's not just the ear, or anything other than the ear would be illegal. I mean, it's dumb.
I worked with a doctor one time who said, he said that person's husband, he's a really nice guy. And I was like, okay. He's like, he has a lot of tattoos though. And I was like, okay. He was like, I've never met anyone who was that nice with all those tattoos. And I was like, I didn't realize there was a conflict between those two.
It's a horrible. It's a
it is.
stereotype.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
was actually, and I'll say this, married to someone who has a lot of tattoos. She,
Yeah.
other than her drinking issues at that time, but I mean, she's past that now.
Yeah.
I love the fact she was super sweet at times. Like, that's the thing. Like, you can't just judge somebody.
I had one of my husband's friends who told me he would never date anyone that had tattoos because they're all crazy. And I was like, excuse me, I have 3 tattoos. I was like, I don't think I'm crazy. And he was like, oh no, you're fine. I was like, you just said a very generalized statement there. And now you're excluding me from it. And I was like, that's not really how that works.
And now he's married to a tattoo artist.
So, but yeah, people,
No, I get where this is a weird thing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that's pissing me off. Like, we have no right to tell anybody what to do. The only person we know is ourselves. That's
it goes back to being intelligent enough to be able to consider and view all people's situations, and
It's like the most I've ever said on anything. Like, I don't know if anyone knows where I sway and where I fall on things, but fuck at this point. I've been dealing with stuff. I think that's one of the reasons I've been depressed lately. I'm not gonna lie. I figure when you get on social media, and this is one reason I'm glad you're off.
yeah,
because I still have to do all the stuff for the website. And Twitter's the only time I never see anything. I see it all from Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
Facebook is the devil. But
I feel like we carry a lot of weight, just being a part of the human race. You know, you just carry a lot on a lot of other people's pain, and I don't even know how to describe it. But you carry on so much of our shared
but we have a
tribulations.
But the
you
plus
know?
side here is we have this opportunity where we can air our grievances,
Mhm.
and we, you know, if you're listening to us talk, at some point we've been angry, we've been happy, we've been sad, we've talked about all this. Hell, if you listen to the last episode of SNS, you can hear me distraught because I still don't know how it, like, just to let you know. And we talked about this. You know, I haven't watched wrestling since that. That should
Yeah.
tell you something.
It's
I'm
pretty
having
terrible.
a deja vu moment right now. But yeah, that's something that I haven't done because that's how bad that convention fucked me. And I got to talk about it and I felt better. Like, you just have to get some things off your chest, but
I hope that, because I hope whoever's out there who thinks that we should just be quiet and be funny, can.
name one episode where you've been funny.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks. I hope that people who do listen to us regularly can maybe share in that we do go through a lot of different things in these episodes, and I feel fairly honest about it. You know, there are times when we are super depressed or anxious or genuinely sad about things.
That's one reason we didn't have a show last month, because I was down all month.
And I mean, I don't think we try to hide those things. I hope that whomever's listening to us can maybe find some solace in that and share that with us, or, you know, be present in that with us.
This is the one time this will probably happen, because I'm at that point where I'm just pissy.
Yeah. Because typically we try to be non-political because we respect everyone's opinions and views. And it's not that we don't take stances, but we don't want anyone to feel that we are trying to force our opinions. Because, again, we respect everyone's opinion in it because you're allowed to have one.
But the plus side is this is audio, and it's a little bit easier to hear someone's voice, like the
Yeah.
hear what they mean, say with their, like, when you say something, you get a different meaning
Then
than
when
you
you're
were when you
seeing
write
written
it.
word.
Because-
That's why you should never have an argument over text. I'm just telling you.
No, or Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh my God, they're in all caps. They must be pissed. No, my caps lock button was on. What the
Right.
hell?
Why are you yelling at me?
Oh God, that happened to me one time. I actually posted something on Facebook, did not realize my caps lock button was on.
Yeah.
And somebody goes, "Why are you yelling at us?" And
Super
I'm like,
aggressive.
"What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?" So that's good times. Good times. So Ashley's granny, real quick, this is funny. I don't know what that was. But Ashley's granny asked me what some of the meanings were of the acronyms. LOL, LMAO,
Nice.
LMFAO, and I'm like, oh God.
I always find it really amusing when my 14-year-old son feels it's his job to educate me.
Oh, because you need to know the slang. Sure.
On things though that have been around since like AOL Messenger. I'll be like, yeah, child, I was around when they invented those.
Making sure there wasn't like a package show. I've been getting random packages from people lately for something, and it's just been nuts because I'm getting like 2 a day. Like, there are 15 boxes out there right now of just like, thanks guys, that's awesome. So I think we're done.
I think so.
I feel a little bit better about things
Yeah.
now.
It was a good show.
This was a weird one. Like, this is definitely not one we
If
planned.
you have stayed with us till the end, congratulations.
Next week, things go back to normal. We are trying pumpkin spice crap next week because Ashley is all about that. So Ashley will return with us next week to try pumpkin spices. And then the week after, I think it's the week after, I think there's one more episode in between now and then. Halloween night, October 31st, which I don't know. We got to figure out when we're going to record this bastard. So, but Halloween nights, because you're in charge of Halloween this year, Sharon.
Loosely.
7 days of Halloween.
I don't know that I'm ready for that.
Well, I mean,
I don't know that I'm up to that challenge.
Well, I mean, you just got to tell me what you want, like what should be on the site during those 7 days. But I do know one thing. I did announce that I am doing a story for Halloween this year.
I'm super pumped.
Why, I don't know. But did I tell you the concept of the story?
I believe so.
I couldn't remember if I did or not.
I believe so.
It is called Horror High. You will learn more about that in the coming
Nice.
weeks.
Will we see any sassy Shern?
Do you want me to answer that truthfully?
Is it going to be a no? No sassy Sherns?
How about 7?
Really?
Yeah, they're all done. I have been writing them
I love
over.
sassy Sherns.
There are going to be 7 Halloween editions of Sassy Shern.
Yay!
Each day there will be a new Sassy Shern story.
Nice. And I'm super pumped because at work we dress up and I get to do Harry
Going to
Potter.
Sassy Shern. Oh,
No, Harry Potter. No one. I'm always that. I'm ready. I've got my wand all ready to go.
are you dressing as Ravenclaw?
I am.
So last night, real quick. So I sent you a text going, "Hey, I think Hufflepuff should get 15 points." I had no idea what a pack and play was until last night because I've never been around children that are younger than 2 ever. Maybe even 3. I don't even know if I've changed one diaper my entire life. So.
There's plenty of people who are thinking, "Woo, whoop-de-doo."
Yeah, no. But I have no idea what a pack and play was. I thought it was some sort of gun thing.
He thought he should get 15 points for assembling a pack and
No,
play.
because Ashley and her mom broke it. Well, didn't break it, but they were trying to tear it down and had no idea what the hell they were doing. I had no idea what the hell I was doing, and I came in and fixed it. And Ashley was even like, "You should probably get 40." So I was like, "No, that's too much. I should get 15."
Fine. I'll allow it.
Thank you.
I need to add it to the total. I haven't yet.
Because there's a lot more stuff that was going on at that time that I cannot discuss.
Okay.
But we did drop off 20 pounds of potatoes there, too.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, next week things go back to normal. But we're trying pumpkin spice the week of Halloween, our Halloween Spooktacular 5 edition. We are doing the new tournament, which starts Wednesday, October the 24th. It is 16 of the best Halloween treats. Ooh. And we're trying all
Is
16.
full-size Hershey in it?
Hershey is in it. I don't know if we'll do full sizes. We'll probably just do fun sizes of everything because.
I'm just saying, if you're trick-or-treating and
You get a full size. Yeah, no. If you get a full size candy bar, you're going to change costumes and going back to that house like 9 times. It's like the same equivalent if they're giving out money.
I'm pretty sure that's an urban legend always.
I got there was one house in my old hometown that gave out $1.
One year, a friend of ours gave out little flashlights. She really did.
That would have been cool too. Like,
she said, "I'm promoting safety." We're like, "Okay,
Yeah, that
works."
works. Yeah, that's awesome. No, so Spooktacular 5, we're going to be trying every candy. The tournament will be done by the time the show airs, so I don't know where we'll be when we record it because I know how crazy your week is.
Yeah.
Wait, are you free on the 30th? No, that's your birthday. Never mind.
Well, actually,
By the way, tell everyone Sharon gets happy birthdays this month.
yes, on the 30th. I may potentially be because that'll be the day after state.
That's one reason why I suggested it.
And originally I was planning on working that evening because it's my late night.
Yeah.
But I decided that I might regret that, so I begged off. So off the whole day.
We might record that Tuesday then.
So it's potential.
So we got to figure out a date for that because I have a bunch of
told
stuff
Zeke
planned.
he could skip school too.
Oh, nice.
Because, after spending Friday,
5 days?
Saturday, Sunday, and
Monday?
then going to state on Monday.
Yeah, coming home on Sunday and then going to Little Rock on
Yeah,
Monday.
and then he'll be back, like 1 or 2 in the morning.
So yeah, so Spooktacular 5, someone dies. Not gonna tell anyone who, but it's a character because it's not one of us. But and I'm introducing some new characters in between now and
Ooh.
Halloween. Yes. So we're not gonna. And next week is the return of the weird news,
Nice.
and we're gonna have a new anchor join us
Nice.
who just gives her opinions constantly. I'm not going to tell you what her name is until next week, but I can tell you now she's raspy.
Fun.
And there's another character that's going to debut in between now and then too.
Fun.
So that's coming up. Halloween stuff all week, that whole week. Don't forget our 31 authors in 31 days. My God, I hate editing. I'm over it.
It's a lot of work.
It is, especially when you have like authors who send 10 pages of answers.
It's a lot of work.
Like, I don't even write 10 pages in my stories. Well, what the hell is this? So, anything you want to add?
I don't think so.
Guys, we're sorry this was a weird show. Sometimes you just get in a mood to talk about things you normally don't talk about. And I know I can discuss these things with Shern because she will not shoot me.
Nope.
Well, she might, but that's
I'll
only
kick you if you leave fudge in my car.
This is going to be called the Deep Fudge Pack. That's exactly what this episode's going to be called. So, or Fudge Packing Deep. That's some of those two things. So until next time, everybody, for Shern.
Bye, everyone.
We will see you next time. We're going to end this show like we do every show because, well, hell, we just got to do something different. Torgo, you know what to do, sir. Take us home tonight.
You cannot stay. The master would not approve.
Be my little baby.